This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty, we are ready to rock and roll, baby, from beautiful Hialeah Park. It's Thursday. You know where we rock here at Hialeah Park. Okay, so you want me to move this way, okay? All right, I got you. All right, we'll move this way. We'll get it going. All right, welcome aboard. We're out here at the second floor poker room where everybody is enjoying a smoke-free environment. Yes, sir. And downstairs, they're enjoying the loosest slots in the state. We got the folks out here. Larry Little is hanging out. We're going to talk to Larry in a little while, and we'll talk about his event, which we cover every year, December 2nd. Looking forward to that. Green Lion says, nice, I'm on a Zoom listening to Big O. So he's got the Zoom people on mute, and he's got us going on. I like it. Anyway, welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll. We got a bunch of stuff to do and people to talk to. Marcel Louis-Jacques, one of our insiders from ESPN, is going to join us with our MyEdgeDrink.com Miami Dolphins report. Alan Poupart will stop by at 5 o'clock with our EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. So we've got all of that going on. We will have Ira Winderman tomorrow, so we can talk a little bit about what I watched last night, which was just absolutely disappointing. Bulls defeating the Heat 116-108. And look, it's game one of 82. So I'm not going to freak out or anything like that. It's a long season. Spo has proven to be one hell of a coach. He'll figure things out. But okay, there's a big butt that's right in the middle, all right? And it ain't my big butt.
It's literally a big butt.
But it is literally a big butt, and his name is Kyle Lowry. So last year, you were overweight. You were not committed. You were a liability to the team. And, you were a subject all offseason that you look like me while playing point guard, which you can't look like me. Breaking news. Do not be in Big O's shape and try to play point guard in the NBA. Not a good idea. Just want you to know that. Okay? People built like me, not for the NBA. But Kyle Lowry, he had a lot of drive-throughs last year, like I do. And he wasn't, in the shape that... So you would figure that after being the subject all offseason, because you basically stole $30 million last year, and you didn't do your part. You know, your best friend wanted you on the team, Jimmy Butler. Forget about the fans. Forget about the media. Your teammates. And one of your teammates is your best friend. You failed that guy. That guy stood up for you. He traded for you, and you came in out of shape. Last night, you start the season, and let's go over the stat line. 35 minutes, 1 of 5 from the field, 0 of 5 from three-point range. Why are you taking just threes when you're really not a great three-point shooter? 2 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, 35 minutes. You're paying the guy $30 million. I wasn't a fan of this contract when they first signed it, okay? Hard to go against a lot of things that Riley and company do. They do so many good things, right? They're an amazing franchise. And they'll get this thing straightened out. I'm not worried about, but I am worried about Kyle Lowry. I'm not worried about Spo. I'm not worried about Butler. I'm not worried Tyler Hero came to play last night. You know, Bam Adebayo had a bad night last night. Just a bad night. His character, his consistency, we all have bad nights. We're all entitled to bad nights. Kyle Lowry, you know, see, here's where we walk the fine line of free agency. Years ago, Albert Pujols, came up for a contract. And the Angels went and signed him to this giant contract. It was a stupid contract. Why? Because the Angels were basically paying Albert Pujols for what he did with St. Louis, not what he was going to do for the Angels. Absolutely terrible contract. And so this is the fine line you walk as a free agent. Nobody gives a shit what you did in the other city you came from. So Tyreek Hill was fantastic with Kansas City. If he signs a contract here and is terrible, nobody cares what you did in Kansas City. It matters nothing to a Miami Dolphins fan. So Tyreek Hill signed this contract, and he's balling, right? So if you're going to sign a free agent contract, understand that you're going to be held to a different standard than where you came from. See, if Toronto chose to sign Kyle Lowry to the same contract, you're basically thanking him for his services throughout his career, and whatever he contributes along the way, it's great, it's gravy. You're closing out your career. You're not the same player anymore. We know that. It's the same thing as Udonis Haslem. Same thing. You know what Udonis Haslem is, but you know what he's done for your franchise. So you're good. He's one of our own. He can retire whenever the hell he wants, and we're all good with that, and we move on. But if you're Tyreek Hill, if you're Matthew Tkachuk, if you're Kyle Lowry, nobody cares what you did, where you came from. And guess what? It doesn't matter. So if you have a shitty season here this year or last year, Kyle Lowry, what you want in Toronto doesn't matter, dude. I don't care about your silly little title in Toronto. It means nothing to the Miami Heat. You signed the contract that you were going to perform like a $30 million player. And you have stolen money, and you are not performing anywhere near a $30 million player. And this is becoming a disaster of a signing for the Miami Heat, like Whiteside, like James Johnson, like Tyler Johnson, like who's the other guy that I'm missing out of those four journeymen, but whatever. Waiters, Dion Waiters. Oh my God, that you knew he needed surgery and you still gave him a contract. What the hell is that? Okay, so that's the fine line you walk as a free agent. Teron Armstead, don't care what you did in New Orleans, my brother. Your job is to stay healthy and get on the field and help this team. If you can't play, which, by the way, thank God, he practiced today. Wow, that's huge. He can practice and play. That's actually enormous. You know what I'm saying? So this is the fine line that Kyle Lowry is walking now. And free agents have to understand that. Nobody cares. When you get to this new city, nobody cares what you did in the past because you didn't do it for the fan base you're currently playing for right now. And that creates a problem for you. And this is a major problem for the Miami Heat right now. But buddy, his running mate from Toronto is kicking some ass. Okay? His running mate is kicking some ass. He rolled the Heat last night. So you watch Kyle Lowry and you watch DeMar DeRozan, it's not even close what you're watching and what you're getting from DeMar DeRozan and what you're getting from Kyle Lowry. And last night, I mean, I'm not going to panic about the team at all, but I will panic about Kyle Lowry because you know why I can do that? Because I'm the guy that said, I hate that contract right from the get-go. So, see, I'm not a phony. What was left is to prove me wrong that was a good contract. And so far, you have yet to prove me right. This is a terrible contract already because you're already 1 year in and you didn't get returns from last year's Kyle Lowry. And listen, his personal issues, I understand he had personal issues. Got to compartmentalize, man. Whatever your personal issues are, they can't affect your eating habits. And they can't. And if you can't play, then just leave. Just go and be with your family, and that's it. But if you're going to come back, you got to do your job. And he failed to do his job. And that's the key to me with Kyle Lowry. So he's got a crap ton to prove, dude. Crap ton to prove to Heat fans. Again, don't care what you did in Toronto. You can stick whatever you did in Toronto where the sun doesn't shine. It means nothing here. You get no credit. You get nothing, Kyle Lowry. You're paid to play for the Miami Heat and produce for the Miami Heat, and you failed miserably last year. You were an embarrassment last year of a signing. I was there at these press conferences when he was talking about this, and he was kind of standoffish about the whole thing. Listen, man, you can only be standoffish if you're Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler can tell anybody whatever the hell he wants. Do you know why? Because every night he brings it. He might have an off night like Bam had an off night last night. Missing a whole bunch of shots right around the paint, dude. Crazy stuff, but that's a bad night. And I know Bam's character, and while I don't look at him as a superstar, and I don't look at him as a franchise player, that he's never crossed that threshold for me. He's a super role player, is what I've always called him. That's my nickname for him, a super role player. But his character and his determination and work, he'll be back, and he'll be kicking ass in the next game and helping you in all kinds of areas. So I'm fine with Bam. I can deal with what happened with Bam last night, not with Lowry. I have no patience with Lowry. Zero. There's no patience. There's no time. There's no understanding. There's no nothing with Kyle Lowry anymore. He screwed it all up with last year. So I don't know what it is, but somebody better reach Kyle Lowry because obviously his best friend can't reach him. Because I got to tell you, bro, Sean gets me a job somewhere, and I'm trying to work at this place. I'm going to be in debt to Sean, and I'm also going to work my ass off to make sure I don't make Sean look bad. Because it was Sean's word that brought me here. So I can't let down Sean, right? Isn't that how it plays off, like when somebody helps you get a job? Right? You would think so. Exactly. That's a great way to answer it. You would think so. Because if somebody helps you get a job, come on, dude. You got to be grateful. We go back to Ernie at Scarface. You got to be grateful. Hey, you got a job. You know what I'm saying? So that's why this situation for me is really bothersome with Kyle Lowry. I got to say, it's sad. Sad. Somebody told me yesterday, trade Kyle Lowry for Russell Westbrook. Makes a lot of sense, by the way, because Russell's an expiring contract, so you only have to deal with it for this year, and then you get the cap space. You're stuck with Kyle Lowry for 2 more seasons, and maybe he works better off over there. But, I mean, if you're the Lakers, why would you do that? You know, you're dealing with – you already have a malcontent over the hill. Now you're going to get another over-the-hill guy? Yeah, no. And by the way, Kyle Lowry, that's what you're looking like. You're looking like you're over the hill. So is that what happened last year? You got old and fat, and that's it? You're going to start playing like Orlando Alzagiri in the NBA? Is that what's going on? Because that's what you look like. You look like Orlando Alzagiri in the NBA. Zero patience for Kyle Lowry. Zero. Jose Lucas, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says, you were right. Bam should have been traded for KD. Well, no, hold on a second. I don't know if they would have taken that trade or what. I mean, you could say should have, could have, whatever, but, you know. I mean, I, in a heartbeat, would have traded Bam for KD. In a heartbeat. But what are you going to do? It is what it is. And listen, man, the Heat is a great organization, but they're not perfect. They do make their mistakes. And Kyle Lowry looks like a monster mistake right now by the Miami Heat. Hialeah Bread is in. Gus 1388. Jay Gelfin says, miss having you live on Thursday mornings. Sorry. Good thing is we get to sleep in a little bit, actually. It was actually nice to stay in bed for a couple extra hours today. Okay? I wanted to stay in longer, but I have a hard time sleeping in, bro. It really is. It is a thing as you get older that you really don't when you're a kid, you can hibernate in a room for hours and sleep for 12, 14 hours and nothing. You know what I mean? When you're a kid, man, once you start getting old, it's 4 or 5 hours in, you're like, all right, I'm ready to go. I can't sleep anymore. You're what the hell is this, dude? It's sometimes there's moments that you get up, prostate, obviously, at my age. And so you got to get up a couple times a night. And there are times you get up at 5:15, and then you're like, all right, I don't have to get up till 6:30, 7:38. And that 5:15 trip will be the last time I sleep. And I'll just roll in bed and just toss and turn. And there goes the alarm an hour later, 2 hours later. And I'm like, damn, I did not sleep. Happens all the time, dude. I would love to oversleep. Oversleeping would be beautiful. Tua Time says, Big O, I appreciate the lock last night with Detroit -3. We'll be shooting you a Venmo later today. What lock you got tonight, sir? All right, so yesterday, our A. Lenny Locksmith Lockdown segment, which was kind of by surprise because they just asked me. I just went over it. So I was prepared since we did hit it yesterday. I didn't want to play the Heat. The -7. I was like, no, I'm not touching that one. And I hated the spread yesterday with the Heat -7. And so we took Detroit -3 against Orlando. How good is Vegas? How good is Vegas? Detroit won by 4. Okay? I mean, we won. So that's all that matters. Whether you win or lose, who cares? But we won, but barely. Yeah. So we've got 2 games only on the NBA slate tonight. And we've got the Sixers favored by 4 against the Bucks. The over and under is 223.5. The Bucks are plus 150 on the money line. Sixers are minus 175 on the money line. And then the other game is Where is it? It's the Lakers. Where is the Lakers? It's the Clippers favored by 5.5, I believe. Damn it, I know I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, here it is. Clippers minus 5.5. The over and under is 225.5. Clippers are minus 215 on the money line. The Lakers are plus 185 on the money line. All right, we're gonna go. I like both of these games. Okay, I'm not touching the game tonight. The Saints and the Cards. I don't know what to expect from these teams. They're both 2-4. They're unpredictable. Saints have a really good defense. I'm just not even touching that game. I just don't like it. So I'm going to go. Actually, I got two games today, and I'm going to take the Sixers minus 4. They're more complete right now. The Bucks have got several injuries, including Chris Middleton, Donaghy. I think Wes Matthews is cleared for tonight, but they've got several injuries. And so I like this, and the Sixers are home. So I'm going to take the Sixers minus 4 against the Bucks tonight in my A. Lenny Locksmith lockdown segment. And then in the second game, the Clippers and the Lakers are a disaster. Okay? They have zero bench. Their bench is full of unknowns. Russell Westbrook does not fit what they want to do. Patrick Beverley and him don't get along. I saw Beverley on the first night, shoot 1 of 5. And I don't think that Westbrook is going to be getting him involved nearly as much in the offense. I like the Clippers in this one. I'm going to go Clippers minus 5.5. I'm going to lay the 5.5. I think the Clippers could win this game by 7 to 10 points, to be quite honest. I think the Lakers are in outright disaster right now. I really do. So I'm laying the 5.5 with the Clippers. I'm laying the 4 with the Sixers against the Bucks. Those are my two selections tonight in my A. Lenny Locksmith Lockdown segment.
The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming. All model cars. 24-hour service. Call them anywhere in South Florida at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at ALennyLocksmith.com where we lock it down.
All right. Folks, don't forget, EJD Construction is a proud sponsor of our program. 305-433-4843. Call my guy, Eric. Listen, you need to build a second floor, an extra room. You want to build out a full kitchen and barbecue in your backyard so you can start cooking out. Since, we're actually creating our homes more of an oasis nowadays because a lot of us want to stay home more often now, after COVID and everything else that's gone on. EJD Construction is blowing up and doing all kinds of things. He built a little drive-in theater, but you don't drive in. You just sit down in your lawn in your backyard for somebody with all that kind of stuff, with the full kitchen and all that kind of things. And now we've got listeners calling because you're trying to get your new insurance policy, right? And you're finding out that your roof is a little too old and it's not, passing the inspections, right? And these insurance companies want you to upgrade it, right? Well, guess what? EJD Construction can help you upgrade that roof so you can pass your insurance inspections and you can be insured for storms here in South Florida. So call them, 305-433-4843. Fully insured, liability, workers' comp, you name it. Please, even if you don't hire EJD Construction, whoever you do hire, please make sure they are fully insured. Because if somebody gets injured on your property, do you know that they can sue you? Oh, and by the way, these workers, they know the laws better than you do. Okay? So do not ever hire anybody to work in your home that is not fully insured. And make sure they prove it to you and show you their insurance. Okay? Because that is incredibly important so you don't end up in a lawsuit. So call ejdconstruction.com, 305. That's the owner's cell phone, Eric, 305-433-4843. Eric Colon, call him, 305-433-4843. he will definitely help you out at ejdconstruction.com. All right, we're out here at Hialeah Park. I told you my man Larry Little is in the house. We're going to talk to him in a little bit. And we've got, of course, Larry Little's Hall of Famers night coming up December 2nd. We've got a fight card coming up next year, February 24th. We got plenty of time to talk about that. But I just want to tell you, because we're giving away a Ford F-150 out here. We give away all kinds of money because we've got the loosest slots in the entire state. That is a fact, Jack. So there's always things going on. Friday, Saturday nights, DJs, a little dancing. You can bring special someone with you out here. You can enjoy some great food, all kinds of good stuff. Steve Calabro, baby, the man that puts all the entertainment together here. Right? You're going to also sing too, by the way?
You don't want to hear me sing.
Okay, all right. Just check.
O.
Is that why there's so much cloud stuff going on out there and it might be raining? Are you singing?
It's best when I drink and sing. That's actually it's a little better, yeah.
Me, it's in the shower.
Well,
the echo.
That's what I practice.
Right. The echo makes it sound a little better than what it really is. You know,
Listen, Big O, I'm just back from Las Vegas. You got to get out there. Have you been out recently?
Have you been to Vegas? We've been to Vegas a couple times, man.
When have you been out there recently?
We went out for the NBA Summer League, which was, when did we go? July? Was that July? That was early July, right? 7th through the 15th. Yeah, I remember exactly. It was the 7th through the 15th.
It's packed.
Oh yeah, no,
packed. Like Monday night, we crowded.
We were stuck in our homes for a little over a year. Well, most of us. We kept working.
Well, we were closed. We were closed for 145 days.
Yeah. There were a couple of times we closed for a short time.
Let's remind everybody how much common sense was there. We were closed for 145 days in Dade County, but Broward, apparently the virus was a little different in Broward County. As soon as you got over County Line Avenue,
right?
So
Yeah.
that they were only closed for about 60 days.
Right.
You see, that was a very scientific thing that the County Line Road has some kind of barrier to the virus. It's quite amazing. Yeah. It's not it doesn't go south.
Put on a mask.
Okay, I guess it did go south. It doesn't go north.
It worked for me and Sean. Put on a mask, keep your distance most of the time, wash your hands, and you were fine, dude.
Yeah, it was
fine. You didn't have to cower so much to this whole thing, but whatever. It is what it is.
I want to have fun with it, okay? And I respect somebody who wants to wear a mask today. Well, God bless you, right?
Oh, yeah. No. Hey, listen, if you have health issues, I get it.
Right, that makes sense. But I just, I'm a curious guy. And I'm on the turnpike, and I look over in this car. One person's in the car, and the guy or girl's wearing a mask.
The only,
Now, come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, so the only thing I can think of is you're in a work car, somebody else's car, and because the other germs and all, that's the only reason you would.
That's a reach.
I know, but that's the only. Isn't that the only reason you can be?
Well, the reason I came up with that maybe they have a health issue, and they don't want to take it on and off. I don't know. I mean,
or they had somebody in the car that they didn't know they had to
70 miles an hour. I look over. It's like it's not a work car. It's a beautiful BMW or something like that.
I know.
But it's not a lot of people. But the point I want to make is Las Vegas. Listen to this. We get there Monday night.
They're back to
Monday
normal.
night. We're checking in. We go to the Venetian. That's the Venetian and the Palazzo. That's the whole complex. Right?
I hate you.
Oh, by the way, have you heard the news about them?
I hate you.
Listen, we come back and even we said.
By the way, when are you going to take us to the Venetian?
You should have come with us. So here's what happens. We're checking in, and the guy says, I said, are you crowded tonight? And the guy says, oh, we're not really that crowded. We're only 99% tonight. 99%. Well, we're sold out the rest of the week.
By the way, Frankie Fresco says, I won 400 this Sunday in the slots in Hialeah.
There you go. Why? Because it's a
loose
slot.
Yeah,
slots. Come on, it's not even. It's no brainer. No brainer, Frankie.
Yeah.
So please come back again and win 800. Win 800.
Now he's in for the F-150. That's probably what he's doing.
He should.
By the way,
absolutely.
Sean, we need to go downstairs and play some slots just for the hell of it, bro.
Just get some entries in.
I have to get some entries in.
But let me. So we're checking in. And I says, how many rooms you got? Remember, they're 99%. So they don't think they got 7,000 hotel rooms in the Venetian Palazzo complex. And by the way, they're not even the first or second largest hotel in Las Vegas.
No, I know.
And it's packed. And it's Monday. Which was crazy. I didn't like it because we got all confused with Monday Night Football. It's like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
I love it, by the way. I love that it's early because you still can go after the game.
I got
go
confused.
gaming, go
I missed
go
the
have a
first
dinner.
quarter. It was a mess.
No, yeah, you got to get used to it.
Yeah. Anyhow, so it was really great. We bought, the reason we were there for the gaming show,
of course,
and we were buying slot machines. And I got to tell you, it was a great show. There's a lot of new, latest and greatest machines. These
they're creative.
These guys are really creative.
Every time I go down there, you guys are always adding like new
and
machines.
I called you Thursday after I was there. I told you that I let your viewers know that there's going to be the NFL slot machines.
That's right.
Really good. Unfortunately, it takes forever to make, so it's going to be next summer before next the 2023 season. But really cool, very cool looking.
Can we do our show in front of the Dolphin slot machines?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I got to get them though.
Right. Well, once you get them, once you get them.
Believe me, I already said we want them. But now you're in line, and then they're going to tell you, supply chain, blah, blah, blah. Meantime, they can't make them fast enough. It's what's going to happen.
Of course.
But and in our industry, we're regulated, so they got to get approved. And we actually went to the laboratory where they approved this. That's the other thing that our industry offers is that we're regulated, and that's good for the customer.
Yes.
Nobody's cheating anybody. Yep. Nobody's doing. Believe me, we are.
That's why I'm dying for the government to settle their crap already and regulate crypto.
Listen, exactly.
Because a lot of people are like, "Oh no, I don't want regulate." No, yes, you do want regulation, dude, because that protects the consumer, man.
We're more regulated than the SEC. We're more than the stock.
It's gambling. It's gambling. So you have to give your customers that
sense
comfort
of a fair
zone.
game.
Yeah,
sense of a fair game.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And not only do we give a fair game, we give a game where you got a shot. You got a shot. So that's that. But listen, talking about a shot, the Jersey guy 2 weeks in a row, 2 out of 3.
That's right.
I was here with Big O, and Big O was saying, I don't like that. I think you didn't say you didn't like it. You said,
I'd stay away from it.
I'd stay away. I tell you.
Yeah,
I was agreeing with you.
Which one was it? It was.
There was a couple of games there. I think 2 of them you were staying away from. And now he did lose the Charger game because it was a 4.5 point spread.
Oh, you sent me the email. That's
the game that he did lose, the Chargers won, but they only won by 3.
Right.
Which they.
Yeah, well,
that was weird. Russell Wilson, I don't know if I'm just going to digress for a second. I got a question for you. I'm looking at the game Russell Wilson's playing. He had one series he played pretty good. Then he sort of forgot how to play football. Then I looked up what he earned. Did you see what his signing bonus was?
Yeah.
$50 million. He's got a $200 million plus deal.
Right.
$50 million signing bonus.
Yep.
That didn't look like they got their money's worth the other day.
No, I was just talking about that with Kyle Lowry last night. You were out of shape last year, and then now you started last night really crappy. And the thing with free agents is nobody gives a shit what you did in your other team.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
you're there to fix that team.
Yeah, you're there. So Broncos fans want you to perform for them. What you did for Seattle means nothing in Denver. And so that's why I admire Tyreek because you got a boatload of money, but you're playing up to snuff. You know what I'm saying?
He is.
But Kyle Lowry, they're paying him $30 million a year, and he was an insult to that team last year. And last night he started off the season looking like he was completely lost again.
Yeah, it was.
And that's the thing about free agents. You want your money, but remember they're paying you to perform now. Not like, when Albert Pujols, I used this example a little while ago. When he signed with the Angels, those idiots were actually paying him for what he did in St. Louis.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they never got his production for that money, and it was a terrible contract. You know?
Hey, listen, who knows? I'm a Russell Wilson fan. I hope he does well. But it looked bad. It didn't look good this past week.
Yeah.
But you did touch on something. I was at the game this week, the Dolphin game, and to me, Tyreek is just, not only is he fast, not only is he just spectacular in terms of after the catch and catching, but he's hustling.
Always.
He is hustling.
Always.
I mean, he is hustling. The only 2 guys you're going to laugh. You're going to fall on the ground when I say this. The only 2 guys that looked like they were hustling, to me, was Tyreek Hill and Mike Gesicki. That's the only 2 guys that seemed like they were hustling. That's what it looked like to me. I knew you would laugh. I knew you'd laugh, but he had 6 catches. He was hustling. He was motivated.
We don't pick on Gesicki on the
No,
show
but
at all. We
you
love
did
Gesicki.
smile. Your viewers are
No, yeah. Because unfortunately, the situation that he's in, you know what I mean. But
he's trade bait. He might even get done before the deadline.
We'll see. We'll see. There aren't a lot of teams that have that money available in the cap.
Yeah,
because it's a hard number.
Well, he's in the free agency. He's probably worth about 14 million, 15 million. So that's going to be a lot of money in free agency. But
but in free agency, you can play with that number when you sign the contract. Like
the other team,
like you can give him a new contract and give him 20 million, and then his salary is like 8, and then you break that signing bonus into the back end years of the contract.
Yeah,
and then those numbers will then escalate big time on the back end. But early on, you can control those numbers and make them more manageable. But right now, because you tagged them, it's 11 million hard cap number.
Yeah.
So you've got whoever moves them, you have to have 11 million at least in space in order to accommodate.
Which limits the number of teams, right?
Unless you're giving back a player that's making 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 million, and then that offsets it. But if you're giving back a draft pick, then you've got to have the cap space.
Yeah.
You understand? In the NBA, when you make a trade, you have to be within, I believe it's like 15% of the salaries. Whereas in the NFL, you could trade a $30 million player and just get back draft picks. You can't do that in the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where it's different.
It's much different in the NFL. But my point was, to me, and maybe I'm biased, it looked like those two guys were hustling this past week.
There were a lot, bro. That defense played their asses off.
Defense is very good, too.
They kept them in there. It's just the offense, without Tua,
it's tough.
That offense. Was something wrong with you, bro? You like you're having a seizure or something, huh? That's right. That's right. The cheerleaders
were hustling. They do. He's 100% right. That is true.
That's right.
They were hustling.
He's got a good point. That's always a good point. Right there.
I sit there in the end zone, so like every other quarter they come to my end zone, and
so you get to check out the end zone.
And I got a shout out to the guy that sits behind me. He's the Dolphin maniac.
Okay.
The maniac. Face painting. His name's Roger, right? But the helmet, the pink thing. He was a fan of the year. I think 2 years ago, he was fan of the year.
Okay.
So we're on TV all the time. But the reason I think about him is when the cheerleaders come, and he's like a 60-year-old guy, right? And he's a funny guy, great guy. But he kind of does the thing with the phone. Give me a call. Like, I'm saying, hey, Raj, someday one of them might give you a call. You wouldn't know what to do.
He wouldn't know what to do, but it ain't going to happen ever.
Yeah, probably. Well, I wouldn't bet against that either.
I don't know.
But at any rate, the Jersey guy. All
right, what's the picks? Let's go.
So I talked to the Jersey guy because I had a pick, and he didn't. He said he was so about it. He goes, he thinks it's my pick that I was talking to him about before he gave me his picks. He says is a sucker bet. I want your opinion on this one.
Okay.
So I says to him, hey, I can't tell you his name because that's like, it's a thing in Jersey. It's Italian guys. You can't, God forbid,
Unlike Roger, who's face painted up and you just gave out his identity.
Roger
might be a superhero. You just gave out his identity.
Roger will love that. You'll see Roger on TV one day. At any rate, the sucker bet that I like is the Bengals giving up 6. I think the Bengals.
Oh, no. Mariota and company are actually playing all right. I can't trust the Bengals.
I don't know.
I know it's a road one, but that's a lot of points. The Falcons have actually played half decent football.
That's what the Jersey guy said. He goes, they're playing pretty bad. They're playing better. I think the Falcons they're.
See, my problem with what my problem with the Bengals is?
What?
I'm old.
Oh, so you remember them being bad for a long time.
I know.
They got in the Super Bowl last year.
I just think this is Ken Anderson and Boomer Esiason all over again.
That's tough on Joe.
You showed up, and now you're not showing back.
I don't know. I believe
the Ken Anderson team was better than this one. They went to the Super Bowl.
But
you remember the Ken Anderson team?
Joe Burrow's good.
Boomer Esiason team was loaded.
Yeah. Picking on Boomer and Ken Anderson.
They lost to Joe Montana on a final drive.
Wow, that's historic.
But I'm just saying. But you lost to Joe Montana. That's how good you are.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So my point is, I'm afraid that this team just got on the same kind of run those other teams did, and they weren't really that
Yeah,
good.
it speaks to organizations.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to maintain it. And so for me, I'm with the Jersey guy. I would suggest
he's off that. He's off the Bengals.
I'm completely off that bet.
All right. So here's what
Sean's off that bet.
Wait, here's what he likes.
It's on the cheerleaders, but not on the bet.
Yeah. Well, the cheerleader group this year is a very good group.
So it's a strong.
They got a strong. The defense is good. The cheerleaders are even better.
Yeah. Well, where do you live, by the way? What part of South Florida do you live in?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. By the way, in Boca, we have one of our sponsors. Okay. HijinksSportsGrill.com is the bar where you can follow them on Instagram at Hijinks. Practically all their waitresses are either current or former Dolphin cheerleaders.
Really?
It is the best looking bar in South Florida. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. You just go to Hijinks just on Instagram.
I appreciate the suggestion.
So hey, honey, let's go to Boca. Let's go.
The wings are good.
And by the way, and they've got like they got sports bar food, and then they've got like a higher end menu.
Hijinks.
Yeah, Hijinks.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I figured you're into all kind of hijinks. So
yeah, well, I'm a sports fan, so I have to see the whole group.
Right.
So listen, here's what he likes. And I said, what are you thinking? Because I wasn't sure about this, because sometimes he gets these ridiculous picks with points, but he loves to bet against teams that have a problem with a quarterback position.
So sounds like a really good plan.
Thought process, right? So he likes the Bucks. He's convinced that Brady is going to beat up on the Panthers, and the Panthers are a done fried team. He thinks that the Panthers are just, but it's 9.5 points.
Well, guys are being shopped around. They just fired the coach.
Yeah, it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's pretty much a mess. So he likes the Bucks. I think it was 9 points when he was looking at it, but it's 9.5 right now.
It's 11 now, buddy.
Oh God, help us!
It's
so
11
my piece
now.
of paper is 9.5, but he was looking at it was 9s, and now it's 11.
Now it's 11.
So hopefully you made. Well, sorry.
So what?
You're gonna have to
so he's going Bucks minus 11.
He had him 9.5, Bucks 9.5, because when he started he was Bucks 9.5, but now your viewers unfortunately get Bucks minus 11, so it's a big problem. But so that's the Bucks. Second one is the Packers. And here's what the theory is: the Commanders, the whole organization for the last 20 years, the Snyder family, the whole thing. It's just they're bad, and Carson Wentz is bad, and he's injured, and I don't know who the hell's quarterback. And so he loves the Packers. The Packers, it's hard to imagine the Packers are going to lose 3 in a row, even though they are struggling, to say the least, since they've lost to 2 New Jersey teams, the Jersey Giants and the Jersey Jets. A lot of people have been quoted as saying they lost to 2 New York teams. They lost to 2 New Jersey teams. Both teams practice in New Jersey and play in New Jersey. I just wanted to just clarify that, So what do you think about the Packs?
Yeah, I like Washington's defense, but I don't like their quarterback. So that's probably
Wentz is hurt.
Whether he's playing or not, and now they've got Heineke, who's playing for him. So Heineke, I saw plenty of them in the XFL and all that. Nice little backup, but yeah, I like Green Bay minus 4.5. I think that one's pretty good. I like that one.
The next one is
I do like the Bucks. But the problem is at 11 points, that's a
and he was at 9.5. Look, I
9.5. I can see them winning by 10. And remember, they haven't played well, the Bucks, so they kind of need a breakout game.
Their offense is like not getting in the end zone, and but Brady, I think, can fix that. And he yells and screams if guys will come around. But the last one is the Monday night game. He loves the Pats. He thinks the Bears are weak. He thinks that Belichick is going to make Bailey Zapp the next whatever, So I will definitely. I'm just digressing for a moment. I will definitely go to Boca Raton sometime soon. Now that Big O has it inspired me to go to Hijinks.
I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you the lineup there is.
I can see from the photos that the food is good.
The food is just it's a buffet.
Well, you have a choice, apparently.
It's a buffet.
You barely have a choice.
I'm just saying, it's a buffet. Okay?
But
it's a buffet.
That's truly a lot of
talent
and good food.
Talent.
Yeah.
Talent.
So
Hijinks Sports Grill. Tell them that Big O sent you, by the way. When you go there, you say, no, Big O's brags about you guys.
Well,
I gotta go up there. I haven't been there yet.
Get up there.
I gotta go.
You should go there on a regular basis.
Yeah, we should be doing a show out there.
Listen, before I leave, I got 4 months in
fact, I want to do a show up there. And you know how they have ring girls, right? Well, I want to have our girls. So yeah, hour number 2, and they walk by.
Once you have them every 15
40
minutes.
out, yeah.
10-minute girls.
See, this guy's all over the cheerleader thing. This guy's got all the ideas. He's on top of it today. Yeah. He's brought an edge today.
Anyhow, before I leave.
Brought an edge. John would be very happy with you bringing that edge.
Before I leave, I want to talk about Hialeah Park.
What's that? Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a place.
We should broadcast from there one day.
It happens to be the best casino in South Florida, but that's another story. But listen, 4 months, November.
Yes, sir.
26th, we're giving away the F-150. I had my people looking for you when you were loading in. I wanted you to take a test drive because I'm not going to let you take a test drive after the show. I want you to be before the show because before the show, you're a man of your word. You'll come back to the show.
Next week, we do it on Wednesday, the afternoon show. Because Thursday I'm traveling. So Wednesday, let's do it.
All right, before the
yeah.
If you're coming in at
Wednesday, I'll come in at 1 o'clock
or 2 o'clock.
No, 1 o'clock. 1
o'clock.
o'clock.
1 o'clock.
I'll come in really early because I don't want to
take you right out there.
I don't like to get too close to.
See, I'm saying I told my guy with the key. I said, don't give Big O the key after he does his show.
Right.
You got to give him the key before the show because he's a man of his word. He'll do his show and he'll know he has to come back.
Not really, because really I could just have him send me a StreamYard link, and I could just do the show while I'm driving in the car the entire time. So I can actually get away with that. You know what I'm saying?
So now you taught me something else. I got to confiscate your phone and make sure it's before the show.
Both
and then maybe you'll come back. Both phones.
Got the business. Got the business phone. By the way, if your business wants to be a part of our platform, you can call our business line at 786-754-4664 for great branding right there.
All right. So look at this. November, December, January, February. November, giving the F-150 away, Saturday the 26th. December 3rd. December 2nd is the Larry Little event here on property. December 3rd is the golf event. People should pony up and buy a foursome. It's not that expensive. It's a really nice, it's to charity. It's a great group. January 20, I guess it's the 29th. That's the Sunday. That's the last Sunday of January. That's our national handicapping contest. That's the day after the big race over at Gulfstream. We're going to have our national handicapping event right here. And believe me,
every year we do it.
I think it's the best place to win a spot into the national event because the odds are better here.
What I love is watching the event.
And it's a nice
because the people are going nuts, dude.
And the way they bet is a little weird.
Yeah,
it's a little weird.
But the atmosphere is actually really cool.
And then February 24th, Friday night, boxing. So think about it. Giving a car away. The Larry Little Hall of Fame event in December. January is the handicapping. February is the live boxing, which we've actually positioned ourselves to go. And I know this is a weird one.
And the loosest slots.
We position ourselves as the, you know what I'm signing right now? You know what this is? You're signing over the F-150 to me. No, this is the permit fee for February 24th boxing event.
Oh, okay.
How's that?
Okay, I would rather have.
Thank you.
I would rather have the title to the F-150 signed over to me. That would be much better.
Well, you're going to have to work. You have to negotiate that. But anyhow, so it's a real good. I think it's a great calendar we have scheduled for the next 4 months.
Loaded.
And
we're happy to be a part of it and promote it with you guys.
And I want your viewers to know the Jersey guy's been 67% the last 2 weeks.
Pretty good.
Not bad. Pretty
good.
It's maybe not as good as you. Maybe what's you're
we're at 42, 24, and 3.
That's pretty damn good,
right? Yes.
What percentage? What win percentage is that?
I don't know. I have no idea what it
40,
is.
42,
24.
You're about 60-something% there too.
Yeah.
Wow. So your viewers can get a lot of good picks here.
Well, we'll try.
And you don't like the Bengals?
No.
Wow.
No. I'm sorry. There we go. 42, 34, and 3. There we go. Not as good.
Oh. Well,
I wrote a 2 there. It's a 3. 42, 34.
Plus
I'm only
34,
9 games over 500. It's
plus
not,
3?
Yeah.
equals that 79. So it's 42 divided by 79.
Just over 50-some percent.
53%. Yeah, 53%.
Not that
Well,
good.
that's not bad though. You're ahead. You're ahead.
Yeah.
You're ahead. You're making money.
I got to do a little better.
It's early yet. It's early yet. Well, by the way, it's been real crazy in terms of some of the games. But anyhow, Big O.
All right. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you as
Signing
always,
off.
Steve Calabro. We're going to get Larry Little on now.
Right in now.
We're going to talk
Famer.
to a Hall of Famer, Larry Little of the Miami Dolphins. He's going to join us now. So we'll have a little fun there with Larry. We'll get him there. Thank you, Steve, as always. Come on over, Larry. Let's have some fun. We're going to talk to Larry Little now. And Larry, by the way, has got his event, the Larry Little Hall of Famers Night, set for December 2nd. And he's always got a ton of players coming over. So it's an opportunity for you all out there to meet some of the great Hall of Famers for the Miami Dolphins. They'll have silent auctions, music, dancing, and, of course, a ton of jokes because they're always joking around the entire evening. So it's going to be a blast. And in the 16 years that Larry has done this event, they have raised over $1 million. Okay. And my favorite part of the event, no, it's not the food, although the food is absolutely fantastic, but it's watching the kids come back that have benefited from these scholarships. And that is actually the gratifying part of the evening. The great Larry Little, ready to go. How you feeling, my man?
Good afternoon, Bo. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. You feeling good?
Yeah, for an old man my age, I'm okay.
Bring it a little closer so folks can hear you.
I'm okay.
Okay. All right, good. How you feeling about the Fins? Because I'm trying to walk people off the ledge. Just get healthy, and they'll get back on track. That's it.
I think they're going to end up being a pretty good football team because, getting Tua back now is really going to help. I still think the defense need to show up some things also, but they've had injuries there also. And but I think now, starting this weekend, they're going to show what kind of team they are.
I agree. The quarterback changes everything. And, I've been a Tua guy from the get-go. Mm-hmm. So I've had to fight all these idiots that he's too short and he doesn't have an arm and he's lazy, doesn't work hard enough, which is like dumbest things that I've heard in the world about this kid. And he's the opposite of all of that. He's a warrior. He works hard. He's tough as nails. Yeah, he's had some bad luck. You know what? All this concussion stuff that's gone on, here's what I said. He blew out his first ankle at 3.89 seconds. His second ankle at 4.55 seconds. His hip at 5 seconds. Thursday night against the Bengals, it was at the 5-second mark. The young man's got to learn to throw the ball away.
He's got to get it out of his hand for sure.
That's the only thing that's wrong with him. There's nothing else wrong with him. He's got to stop that warrior stuff. He's got to learn to live for the next play. Please.
Oh, but the offensive line still needs to do a better job too, though.
Yes.
Right now, they have not been very good.
But you'll get Armstead back now. You'll be much better there in that area.
But how long do you think he'll be back, though?
Yeah, I know.
Because he's always had injuries.
I know. He practiced today.
He did?
So not only is he coming back, he hadn't practiced in a month.
True, right.
So that's progress in itself. And if you can get Austin Jackson back, then because he's better than what you've had there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're saying my namesake?
Yeah. So, I mean, Austin has, I think Austin is now, I think there's a little bit more appreciation because he was coming around in training camp in the preseason. He was looking good.
Correct.
Because, listen, Larry, I killed the staff last year. I thought that was the worst offensive staff I've ever seen. I've been covering the team for 32 years and watching it since I was a child. I've never seen a worse offensive staff. That's one of the things I love about what Mike McDaniel did. He built a hell of an offensive staff that is helping their linemen, helping their quarterback, helping that offense. Last week, they weren't that good, and Teddy still threw for 300 yards.
True.
I mean, crazy.
When you have a receiver like what he has now, too. And
you played like a dog. You played with a dog like that. His name was Paul Warfield.
Oh, yeah, but we didn't throw the ball like they throw it today.
No. Well, you didn't have to.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
You know.
But he is some kind of football player.
Ooh.
And you have Waddle too, who's although he had a couple of bonus last week, but he's a great receiver.
Yeah.
Right. So they're going to be okay. And now to show up the running game a little more, they need to do that.
Yes.
To show up the running game a little bit more. And the other week, Mostard had a good game. He gained over 100 yards. And then I don't understand what they're doing with the running backs. One week the guy not dressed, the next week he is, another guy's not dressed.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
The game has changed where we don't really rely on the bell cow anymore. We don't really do, and he's very game plan specific. So he feels one running back's better than the other running back for this game or that game. So it's a completely different style, Larry, than what you were so used to back in the day, and I was so used to in growing up.
We interchange a lot too with Mercury and Kick.
But it was the same guys that were using constantly.
Same too, yeah. Every now and then they might have thrown Hubert Gann in there for a play or two, but other than that, it was just Jim and Mercury.
It's just weird when you're just featuring one guy the entire week, and then the next week you're featuring another guy, the entire week. It's just kind of odd. And Mostert really has been their most consistent guy right now. But you've got to be careful with him because he's coming back from a knee injury.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like one of the guys was telling me, we should give him more carries. I'm like, no, dude, 18 carries for a guy coming off a knee injury. He's fine.
That's true.
He's fine.
Very, very true.
And plus, Mostert is not a power back. You really should not be giving him the ball 20-something times to run the ball.
Now, Edmund was supposed to be the power back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he would be more of the power back, and that has not worked out, so far. Let me ask you something, because one of the things that I see is Eichenberg. He's the one guy that is kind of it's kind of a sore spot for me right now, and I'd love to see Robert Jones get a shot, because I think Robert will be the next guy in line for him.
Well, I really believe Eichenberg is playing out of position.
I agree. A lot of scouts tell me he's a tackle.
Yeah, he's a tackle and not a guard.
And a right tackle, they tell me, not even a left tackle.
True. So, I think he's really out of position. I would like to see a little more, too, out of Hunt. He's inconsistent to me. Good plays, bad plays every now and then. And the center, I don't know. He was supposed to be a bell cow when he came in here, but I haven't seen it so far. In fact, the sack against Tua, the guy beat him against Simpson to beat him on that play.
Yeah.
So, but they've all got to improve to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Up front,
There's no doubt the line still is not. I mean, the line's been a mess for years and years and years and years. I mean, we haven't had a line that at least can settle down since Webb and Sims with Ruddy. Like that's been the most consistent line they've had in the last 25 years.
Now who was on that
30
line?
years.
Who was on that line? Brady was the center. What about with Dwight?
Well, now you're. But what I'm saying is,
Since Ruddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like the last group.
Right.
After
Dwight. Yeah.
Yeah.
After Dwight. True.
Well, obviously with Dwight they were monsters, but that's a freak of all freaks right there.
I'm not talking about Dwight himself. I'm talking about the line around him.
Yeah. Those guys were better, but like the last best line might have been those guys.
I forgot who was on that line.
Yeah. Trying to remember who was on the right side after Ruddy, Sims, and Webb. I think they kind of interchanged guys on that side a couple of times. But that's the most consistency. A couple of years back when Brandon Albert, Pouncey, and James would
they were pretty
healthy,
good.
They were pretty good.
They were pretty good, yeah.
They were pretty good, you know what I mean? But it's been, God, Larry, it is so
But I wasn't
hard.
impressed with James.
No.
He seemed to me like he was a weak.
Yes.
Pretty weak to me. He wasn't strong.
Right.
And he's still in the league, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still getting injured in the league, yes.
Okay.
He's out with another injury for the year already.
Okay.
But he's cashing in, baby.
Well, was he with Denver?
Yeah, he was with Denver.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And he's still with Denver. He's injured.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it was an Achilles or something. Poor guy suffered, and so he's definitely out for the year. But so were you a Tua guy from the get-go?
I liked him in college.
Okay.
And
the injury got you worried?
Well, he's so small. I didn't know how many hits he could take in the NFL, and it's showing right now because he was hurt his first 2 years with us here in Miami.
Sure.
But it wasn't nothing serious like a head injury. But he had his necks and head and every place else on his body. And he's not a big guy. I've never seen him in person yet, but I'll probably see him this weekend. But he's not watching him on TV. He's not a big guy.
I just think he has to be smart with the ball.
He does.
Listen, Tarkenton wasn't big. Greasy wasn't big.
True.
Drew Brees wasn't big. And Joe Montana wasn't big.
True.
But they were all smart. And Tua's super smart also. He's just got a – Marino was one of the greatest. When the play was dead, that ball ended up in the 10th row.
Mm.
You knew it because he wasn't going to stand around and just take a hit for no reason. And that's the last thing that Tua's got to add to his game because I think in those first 3 weeks, you saw that he's a pretty special passer.
Oh, yes. And could throw the deep ball.
Right. Well, yeah.
That was one of the knocks on him. That he
I
could
wasn't
throw the
worried
deep
about
ball,
that. I wasn't worried about. My thing was, I saw him play in college. I saw him play at a high level. You don't come off the bench in Alabama and just win a national title if you don't have something with you.
That's true.
There's something about that kid. And so to me, once he injured that hip, I figured not until year 2 will that core be healthy. That first year, there was no way he was going to get his hip rehabbed and his core.
Right.
And for a quarterback, that's where it all comes from, your hips and your core. That's where you're going to get all your power from. So it was, and then I thought he needed coaching because I didn't think he had a real coach offensively that could bring it out of him. Now he does with McDaniel. So now he's healthy. Now he has coaching. Now he's got to fix the offensive line.
And he's happy.
Yeah, he's happy.
He's happy.
Yeah.
He wasn't criticized. He hadn't been criticized this year like he has in the past.
Well, unfairly criticized, I would say.
True.
I would say because some people would tell me, oh, well, Flo, he doesn't like Flo's tough coaching. I'm like, he played for Saban.
I mean, anybody, you can play for Saban, Nick, you can play for anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So what do you like about this new coaching staff compared to what you saw?
Well, they all seem to be on the same page for one thing.
Amen.
Like on defense, you were wondering because whatever it was that got out, who was the defensive coordinator? Who was calling the defensive signal? Was it Flores?
Right.
Or was it
Boyer?
Boyer. Now, that's one thing you don't see now like you saw last year. Offensively, McDaniel seems like he's on top of everything that's going on offense. Although the offensive coordinator is there right there with him, either in the press box. I don't know if he's on the field or in the press box. But he has great game plans. Great game plans.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I just think they need to get healthy, Larry.
Yeah, they do.
That's it. If they get healthy, see, they weren't a good team for a while now. Now you got a good team, but let's not get crazy and also expect depth now. That's probably going to take another year or two to build the depth. At least now you've got competent starters on both sides of the ball to be very competitive every week.
And with an offensive line, too, they have continuity.
Yes.
Because I hate to go back to this, but during my days, we believed in each other up front. And we knew if we communicated. I don't know how good their communication is on the line either. But like I see teams running games on them, and we communicated with that. And I mean, guys running free when they run an in-tackle game or tackle game, they're running free because they're not communicating.
Yeah. Eichenberg misses several of those all the time. All right, so tell us, I know I'll be there for Larry Little's NFL Hall of Famers night. I'm there every year to put that out there on YouTube. We get to put that on video now.
Yeah, Frank was telling me.
Yeah. Last year we did it, and this year we're going to add a little more cameras to make it, a better event and live and all that. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun. So tell us a little bit about what you got planned next month.
Well,
or in a month and a half.
It's basically the same thing we've had in the past. Same entertainment because those guys are so great. The night before, I'm inviting some new guys this year that will be coming in. We are not flying in guys anymore because that's taken away from what we want to give away. If we can get a sponsor, and we had to get it. Now we're established. Now we are flying in a lot of Hall of Famers from all over the country, and it was cutting back on the money we were able to give to the kids.
Right.
Last year, we gave away $42,000, $1,000 to 42 different kids, $42,000. Plus, I sent $20,000 to my alma mater for scholarships, Bethune-Cookman University. Now it was college when I was in school. And we help other little people to a little league football team. People come to us for help. We just enjoy helping kids. That's our main goal, helping kids. And I told my committee at our meeting not long ago that my goal, we gave away $42,000 here last year. My goal this year is to give away $50,000.
Okay.
And $1,000 scholarships. And of course, one school get a little bit more than the other, and that school is Booker T. Washington, my alma mater.
Of course.
So, yeah, I have to look out for Overtown,
Yeah, no, definitely.
And but that's where we are. We have 30 guys playing this year, 30 teams. That means we will have 30 celebrities playing with these guys. Not only football players, we have a basketball player like Reggie Theus last year, Charles Johnson in baseball, Lenny Harris in baseball. And we just try to have it so people can have a good time and want to come back and enjoy what we are doing.
My wife taught 1 year at Booker T.
Did she?
It was her first year.
Wow.
She was a Miami High grad. So when she graduated from FIU, her first year was at Booker T. And then her second year, she went to Miami High, and she was there for like 13 years or something. And then now we moved out to West Kendall. So she's at Felix Varela now.
Oh, okay.
So she started that was her first year at Booker T.
Oh, so we're neighbors. I'm in West Kendall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm west of the zoo.
Well, I'm not
You're
as south
west.
as you.
Oh, okay.
I'm more west. I'm off of Kendall Drive,
Right.
and about 152nd.
Okay.
So yeah, we do. And by the way, we're doing we do our pre and post for the Canes over at Walk-Ons on Kendall. I don't know if you've been to that Walk-Ons.
No,
It's a
I've never
good-
been
Yeah,
there,
they got that's Drew Brees' restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's got all that Louisiana type food and all that. It's actually really
Cajun.
a little Cajun stuff. It's actually really, really good. All right, so I'm looking forward to it. December 2nd, we're going to carry it and everything. So, Larry, folks can actually be a part of this event, right?
Yes. If I'll give you a phone number to call if they want to play in the golf tournament.
Mm-hmm.
The reception is invitation only, but you call 954 867
867?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
6511.
Okay, and that's to be a part of the golf tournament.
That's the lady that runs everything for me.
Okay, all right. There you go. So if you guys want to be a part of the Larry Little Hall of Famers night, 954-867-6511. Larry, as always, man, I appreciate you big time. Look forward to talking to you again on December.
I appreciate it, too, for having me.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Larry.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
There you go. The great Larry Little, baby. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. All right, give us a minute. We're going to come back. Marcel Louis-Jacques from ESPN is ready to go with our myedgedrink.com Miami Dolphins report.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, there we go. Hour number 2 live from beautiful Hialeah Park. We just finished with Larry Little, of course, the Hall of Famer. Now we're going to go to a future Hall of Famer in Marcel Louis-Jacques, right? There we go. There we go. How you feeling, my man, with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report? As you can see, a new billboard, a new look for Edge. And we are going to be serving Edge to all of the folks out there at Walk-Ons on Saturday when we're doing the Canes and the Duke broadcast. We'll be doing our pre- and post-game show. We've got giveaways from Perdomo Cigars, giveaways from Caneswear, and giveaways from Edge Energy Drink. So come on out there and try the finest energy drink on the planet. How you doing, Marcel? You doing all right, my friend? Oh, do we have him? Up.
Said I'm feeling the new billboard, man. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. This is cool, man. All right, got the little Dolphins colors too. Insiders report. All right.
There we go. There we go.
Get us coming up, man.
Yeah, baby. We'll things change, life changes, so we got to adjust with it. All right, so good news for Dolphin fans today, right? You guys were freaking out with Teron Armstead actually practicing. Holy crap!
Yeah. Teron Armstead practiced today. I assume it's going to be a limited or described as a limited practice. We only get to watch the first. They say 20. It's a little liberal. That's a little liberal, but the fact that he's on the field is a positive sign. I fully expected him to not practice like the rest of the year, for that to be his new normal. If that's how you have to mitigate his pain and that's how you have to control his injury, then that's how you just got to do it, man. Because that's your leader on the offensive line. We just saw how bad it gets without him.
Yes,
we just saw it. It ain't pretty. So if that's what it takes, then, I think they would have been all for it. Mike McDaniel said earlier this week that he trusts Teron Armstead as much as any player he's ever been around. So, I mean, that speaks to the level of preparation and leadership that guy shows off the field. But it's a good sign. He called the injury unique. He didn't exactly say that he's going to play Sunday. I would expect him to, though.
Yeah, if he practiced. Yeah. The fact that he practiced was huge as it is, even limited, because normally he doesn't do anything. So that's got to tell you that there's a little progress there. So I'm sure he's going to play. Now, on the other side, you guys have yet to see Austin Jackson out there. So it's Thursday. If you don't practice on Thursday, that's when I get a little – and especially you haven't practiced – you haven't even played in so long. I don't think there's a shot that Austin's playing.
No, I would go ahead and – I mean, the window is open, and that's positive, especially when you look at, a situation like Byron Jones where the window was not. But I think that they're slow playing it here. They do need him back, but they need him back healthy. It's still at a part of the season where they can get some games back. Losing these past two was hard on the big season outlook. But, I think especially if TJ Watt is not playing, the Steelers are not as scary. I would argue that they're not scary at all on defense. So I think it's a situation where they can afford to let him sit for another week, throw Brandon Shell in at right tackle. Between him and Greg Little, I am more inclined to put Shell there. Greg Little has been statistically worse than Liam Eichenberg has been this year.
Oh my God.
But in terms of pass block win rate, I tweeted out the lineman rankings earlier today. But I don't think you should expect to see Austin Jackson quite yet. Like you said, you got to get up to game speed, got to get those live reps in practice. And the fact that he's not on the field doesn't necessarily bode well for that. I haven't even seen Austin in the locker room. And that's kind of weird. I mean, it's how it works in there. We get a 45-minute window before or after practice, and they're usually, all over the place. But I have not seen Austin Jackson in a little bit. I would expect him to sit for another week.
Yeah, and when we talk about, I was going to ask you about the Shell one, because I've been more impressed with Shell than Greg Little, and that's what I thought would happen. When I saw that Armstead's coming back, I'm thinking they're going to put Shell on right tackle because he's actually been more impressive. Not that it's that impressive, but he's been better than Greg Little. So I would go with Shell on that side, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I think you kind of have to at this point, especially, Tua's first game back. You would like to think that Tua's not going to try to do too much and keep plays alive and overexert himself. But you would like to protect him as much as possible here in this first game back, especially with a guy like Flores on the other sideline, who has been in the Pittsburgh's defense's ear all week with Tua's tendencies, what he does well, what he doesn't do well, how to get him off platform, how to get him off this game. It's not a situation that you really want to play with. I'd say, sit Little, let him be that reserve swing tackle, put Brandon Shell there at right tackle with Armstead at left.
What do you think about Robert Jones at left guard? Because I've kind of seen enough of Liam Eichenberg. I think I was just talking with Larry Little right now. He might know a little bit about offensive line play. He agrees with me. He's a tackle, not a guard. And by the way, plenty of my scouts that I've talked to from the get-go have said he's a right tackle, not a guard. But they continue that experiment. That's been a really bad experiment. Robert Jones should be the next guy in line because Dieter probably is going to back up Connor if anything happens to Connor. So if that's the case, why aren't we seeing Robert Jones, bro? What is Liam Eichenberg doing that's convincing them that he should be the starter every week? I'm confused.
There's always something going on behind the scenes. I tend to defer to coaches in this scenario. They see these guys every day. They see them in the meeting room. They see them in the weight room. They see them in practice when we're kicked out. If they are going to say, look, Liam is a better decision at left guard than Dieter or Jones, I am inclined to believe them. I don't agree from what I have seen, but I am not around them as often as the coaches. None of us are around them as much as these coaches are. And that's not to say that these guys can't make mistakes there. The staff can't make mistakes, but their job's on the line a little more than ours is. Their job and a lot of money is on the line too. I don't think I would want to mess around with it if I'm not playing with my money. If I see somebody is a hindrance to it. So it kind of makes you think, what are they not seeing from Michael Dieter or Robert Jones to make a move at left guard? Because it's week 7. It's week 7 now. It's not all right, you got to ramp up. Okay, you got to warm up. He's been practicing at left guard all summer, all spring. I gave him a pass last year. He's a rookie. He played 4 different offensive line spots. I think everything except for center.
And crappy coaching. So, I'm with you. I gave him a break last year. I'm with you.
Just give him a break. We haven't seen the improvement this year. And it's particularly on, those stunts and those twists are, as Jeff C says down here, destroying them. And it's generally coming right there at the left guard. He's not processing it. He's not picking it up. And that, I think that part of the reason for putting him at left guard is to accelerate that learning curve next to Teron Armstead, next to a intelligent offensive lineman like Teron Armstead. You would think that, by osmosis, if nothing else, that you would figure out, how to break down a defensive line, how to see certain things coming and how to react and respond from there. But we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it. And it does, again, it begs the question, if in week 7, if there hasn't been a change, when will it come?
Yeah, no, and I'm wondering how bad is Robert Jones that you can't convince he can't convince you to at least try him. That's kind of odd that would be the case, but I just have not been satisfied with Eichenberg whatsoever, and maybe now with Armstead back, you can hide him a little bit between him and Connor, but either way, I would try at least Robert Jones, but. All right, we're going to defer to them. All right, so quarterback talked yesterday. Obviously, my dumbass. By the way, I was going to the press conference. So you know what I ended up doing? Muscle memory, bro. I drove to Davie. I'm getting off on University Drive, and I'm going, dude, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. And I look, and I go, wait a minute. I'm all the way in Davie. What am I doing?
It's a bad one to miss, man. It's a big one to miss.
I didn't pick up the prizes from Canesware the day before when I was there to give them away on Saturday at our Hurricanes broadcast at Walk On. So, yeah, I stopped right there at Canesware and I got something done, and then I wasn't able to make it there. But I wanted to make it there to ask him that question about getting rid of the football. I saw Daniel Oyefusi from the Herald was the guy that ended up asking him that question about letting it go and what he had learned. So I know he kind of told us what we all want to hear, but so far, I think I've played it for you, the video of him as a high schooler talking about his dad, how he gets pissed at him for not throwing away the ball and taking on hits. Saban already pointed that out a few years ago heading into the draft, and now it's continued to happen to him. And so I'm wondering, after hearing him, is it something that we can't believe until we actually see it? Is he going to leave that warrior-like mentality of, I got to try to save it, I got to try to save it, I got to try to save it? Is he going to let that ship sail finally?
Sometimes it takes a major event to change your mind.
The hip wasn't a major event, dude. His entire career was in the balance.
Sometimes it takes 2. I don't know, man, but I don't believe it until I see it. I will believe that to throw the ball away when I see you throw the ball away. It's something that he got better at throughout the year last year, but obviously it's still not, I guess it's still not, to the level it needs to be. And, it's a mix between, he missed the read when he was hurt against the Bengals. He missed the read. If I remember correctly, Waddle was open on the other side of the field.
Yes.
But to be honest, it's easy to say he held on to the ball too long in hindsight there. But I was more surprised that he was wrapped up in that play. Like I thought he should have been. I thought it was a player he should have easily been able to sidestep.
He's like Baker Mayfield. He can't outrun drunk cops.
It was like it was almost like he was too casual in trying to try to sidestep him and trying to break away from him. Like he underestimated how strong, how fast this guy was on the other side of the ball. But he did admit, I mean, that's half the battle, right? He did admit, look, throwing the ball away is not something I've done well in the past. I need to know when to say die here. I need to know when to concede. Mike McDaniel, I'm sure, has tried to drill it in his head as much as possible, but like you can only tell guys so much. You can only do so much. You can't throw the ball away for them. And it's not, it's not a cut and dry, one size fit all formula. Like every play, there's not something to look for in every single play where it's like, okay, like it's not worth trying to, it's not worth trying to extend the play. It's not worth trying to do X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? Like it's situational. Like you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to take context clues in every one of these situations. So it's a hard thing to coach besides telling them, dude, do you want to go back to the hospital?
Right.
Throw the ball away. We'll be fine. Like we will be fine. The first 3 weeks of the season, the Dolphins led the NFL in points per drive. They led the NFL 2.8 points per drive. That would still, at that rate, that would still be number one in the NFL right now, above Kansas City and above Buffalo. They'll put up points. You know what I mean? The guy number 10 will get you somewhere down the field. 17 will get you down the field. 31 will get you down the field. You don't have to be a hero anymore. So, you would hope to see, I don't want to make it sound like this was a good thing for him, but like you would hope that this entire situation would change his line of thinking and change the willingness, his willingness to extend a play or his willingness to keep something going. You would hope it would make him, quicker to say, okay, next. Tried. It's not there. Next.
I'm going to run something by you because sometimes, not sometimes, a shitload of narratives have been built around this kid that have been all false narratives. And very few people have been on target with this kid. He doesn't have an arm. Yes, he does. He's too short. Doesn't really matter. He's lazy. No, he's not. Whatever. All kinds of these narratives. The other narrative or the other story that's out there, and maybe this is also a false narrative, and I'm starting to feel that this is a false narrative. Tua doesn't listen to anything. He doesn't have any social media. He doesn't watch anything. He doesn't read anything. Well, I keep watching a kid that keeps trying to prove the world wrong. And half the world, or 70% of the world, is constantly telling him, your arm is a noodle arm. You're too short. You can't do it. You can't take tough coaching. You don't work hard enough. You play too much golf. All of these things. And I almost feel like this is a kid that's constantly got that in his mind. And that's been the ultimate demon to him, that he's fighting all of the people that are the naysayers. And in the process, he's putting himself at risk. Instead of playing the game the way it should be played, he's going to extremes because he's actually trying to quiet the critics on a consistent basis. Those critics that people say he doesn't listen to, that he doesn't pay attention to, I kind of think he does now, because there's too many of these instances going on. And there's too much bullshit about him going on, whether it's writing, on radio, on TV. And I think that is one of those motivating factors that he puts himself at risk on a consistent basis. Your thoughts on that?
I don't think that he outwardly pays attention to things that are said about him. It's one of the rare instances where I feel like, when a guy says, I don't read any of that, I actually believe him. I think he is made aware of it on his way to talk to us,
right,
because it's PR's job.
I was expecting the buts. All right, go ahead.
It's PR's job to tell him, to prepare him for what he might be asked. Like, hey, just FYI, this is what the streets are saying about you. This is what you might be asked about this, that, and the third. But he does know, like he is aware. Because
I got to feel Nick says it to him, his trainer. I got to feel Tyreek says it to him, but not in a way of like what you think, but like a Tyreek thing, like, yeah, man, let's go prove these people wrong that they say you can't do it. And, like Tyreek's doing it in a motivational way, but it's still being processed. It's still being mentioned. It's still being put in the subconscious. You know what I'm saying?
But Tua said himself this summer, like,
go ahead.
He said himself this summer, it's kind of hard to play in the NFL when you don't have the arm, or it's kind of hard to play in the NFL if you can't throw the ball. So like he knows what's said about him. But as far as, I don't know how much trying to prove people wrong motivates him here. I think he just wants to play football, man. Like I think he wants to play football. I think that work is fun for him right now. That McDaniels, the environment has, it's made it fun for him right now. I think that he gets along with his teammates. And I just heard him in the locker room today. Like, I think that he gets along great with his teammates now, or at least well enough to win games. There's little reason not to believe that, with him under center. I know he said, he's not the savior. Yeah, you kind of are. Yeah, you kind of are. You kind of are.
Yes. Yeah, he may not want that label and all that, but they're just look at the results. You're not in the game. They can't score points. It's like I hear people, oh, well, the Dolphins got to learn how to score points. No, dude, the Dolphins got to get Tua back and get a couple of linemen back, and they'll be scoring all the points you need. Didn't you watch the first couple of weeks? I mean, it's just like I don't know what people are thinking sometimes. There's a reason why the offense isn't as sharp the last couple of weeks. That's because your best quarterback isn't playing right now. So, yeah, he is the savior. There is no doubt in my mind he's the savior.
And it's not, and we'll never know at this point because, we'll never know how Teddy would have looked against the Jets there after a week of practice and prep. I know that Skyler looked better against the Vikings after a week of prep than Teddy did in reserve, and then that Skyler and then he himself did in reserve against New York. So like it's hard because quarterback is to blame here, but like Skyler and Teddy should have been more serviceable if they actually played the games they were preparing to play. You know what I mean? Like I think they would have been a little better. At the very least, I think I think Skyler would have put up. I think he would have led them to a pretty easy win against Minnesota.
All right, we won't talk to you till post-game late Sunday night. What are your thoughts? What happens
late Sunday night, man? We're going to get that 2 a.m. talk in, that 1:30 a.m. talk in.
We
want to hear me talk at 2 a.m.? That's crazy to me.
We get the job done how we have to get the job done, bro. That's just the way that's the way the world rolls, man. That's it. We're here to work.
I will say,
by the way, I will always tell people that work with us in this business, remember, we get paid to do this shit. So we're blessed. I remember there was an old writer. He's no longer with us. And I was a young guy on the beat. It was like my first 10 years in the beat. And I would, every time we would run into this guy and we'd have to wait, Heat or Marlins or Dolphins or whatever we were at, he was always a sack of complaints, and it drove me. I hate people that complain about our business constantly. Like if you're constantly miserable, then dude, get the hell out or leave us alone because you're working in sports, brother. Okay. You could be laying asphalt. You could be a police officer. There's a lot of jobs that are way worse than what we do for a living, brother. So
I've done worse. I've had to do, I've done sales, before I got into journalism, and I thought sales was the worst job I've ever had in my life. I hated it. 100 calls a day, however many hours of talk time, being told no, get a job, get a life, go to college, all of this. I hated that. It's funny, like yesterday I did TV all day yesterday, and call time was at like I think I was there 10:45 to 6 something. 6:30, 6:45. It was like an 8-hour day. I was beat by the end of it. And I'm like, man, like, I feel like I've been here all day. And I did the math. I was like, oh, that was just an 8-hour day. Like, that's what an 8-hour workday is? This is what y'all do? Yeah, no, like, I got no complaints about this job. I love the job. It is exhausting during the season. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
It is annoying when people think that they could talk to you crazy. Just because, for example, yesterday, man, I don't usually put a lot of stock into it, but I was just tired enough that it bugged me a little. I said on our 6 p.m. show that Tua's coming back to a situation that's similar to the one he came back to last year. He misses 3 games, team's on a losing streak. I asked him in the press conference, what did that teach you about not pressing and overdoing it when you get back? Similar situations, right? Like, I think they're comparable.
Yeah.
This kid heard me say
a little less pressure now because you have more help. You have help.
Less pressure now, but same basic
talent department.
That's why I said similar, not one of one or one-to-one. Similar.
Amen. Yeah.
This man sends me this voice memo on Instagram, calling me a name that I will not repeat, that we do not say anymore in 2022. Called me like, did you really just compare a concussion to a rib injury? Would you? It's like, dude, you listened to 3 words of that, yelled at your TV so you couldn't hear the rest, then found me on Instagram to say that, like, and then, like, he's calling me all outside my name and then goes, you're probably a cool-ass dude, man. Like, I'd probably grab a beer with you or a dinner or something. It's like, if you saw me in person, I'd probably slap the shit out of you, bro. Like, no, you wouldn't. So, like, that part gets annoying because, like, you think it's easy to say, like, just ignore it. But, like,
right.
It's every day and it's hundreds of times a month. Like, it's hard to always ignore. But, and then I don't particularly love primetime games. I like going. I like the atmosphere. It's the,
I know.
You gotta, it's the, by the end of it, you're just like, kind of like
been there,
crawling to the finish there. But like, let's get it right. If that's a bad day at work, I think your job's okay.
So they win?
Yeah.
Back on the winning track. You got to beat the Steelers, right?
You have to beat the Steelers. Even though for some reason, somehow Kenny Pickett is a full participant at practice right now. I don't think anybody should be upset. I know everybody, the knee jerk is to be mad. Like, why doesn't the same rule apply to Teddy as it does Kenny? You want Kenny Pickett playing. You want to play Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
yes.
But that's not what they're talking about. That's
you
not
want
what
to play Kenny Pickett.
No, what they wanted was Teddy Bridgewater against the Jets. That's what they wanted. That's what they're pissed at, Marcel. It's not.
I know.
They don't fear. No one fears Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky. It's the principle is what they're mad about. Has nothing to do with any of that. And it's typical of the NFL who is incredibly inconsistent with everything that they do.
It is something that none of us understand either. Just like we don't really understand why the NFL did not give a statement about the spotter. Alan Sills made a comment to Jonathan Jones the other day. It seems like what they did is they stalled until it's like,
it dies out.
The story anymore,
right?
Does this really even matter anymore? And no, it doesn't. Like, because if we got a statement about what the spotter saw for Teddy, what does it change? They're gonna let them play the game over again? No, like, it doesn't change anything. So, like, there's no choice but to move forward.
The league knows it's Teflon and they can get away with anything.
Hey, but listen,
we're still gonna watch.
It's the same NFL. It's the same NFL that some of y'all were ready to believe wholeheartedly when they said the Dolphins didn't do anything wrong. Protocol was followed. Everything is kosher. Like, it's the same NFL that y'all won't believe. I try to tell you, you got to take everything they say with a grain of salt.
Well, I mean, everything that went on there was a big farce, like I said from the get-go. Everything. The NFL, the concussions, the protocols, everything is just show. That's all it was. All they did was feed the lynch mob. And now that it dies out like everything else does in life, it's a news cycle, and you just give it some time. It dies out, and you move on to the next story, and the media moves on to the next story. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, though, because they don't usually – the NFL doesn't typically bend to public will, to public opinion.
There's no media that's going to hold their feet to the fire, my brother. Zero.
It's not that
media.
there's no media that will.
No, there
it's
is
that
no
there's
media.
no media that can.
ESPN's not going to stand up to the NFL because they're in bed with the NFL. So they're not going to do that because then the NFL would hold it against
Again, even if ESPN did, what difference would it make? So let's say ESPN pulls out of Monday Night Football, and I want to be careful because I don't speak for my company here. Let's get that disclosure. But let's just say ESPN pulls out of Monday Night Football, and then what else do we have a Saturday slate? I don't know.
No,
but let's just say,
it's
let's just say they pull out of Monday Night Football.
But it's part of access all over the country for all ESPN stations, TV, everything. So it's not just that. They can start holding it against you for other things.
But my point is that there's no media outlet in the world can make a quantifiable dent into the NFL's stranglehold over America. That's why I'm saying it's not that nobody will hold them accountable. It's that nobody can hold them to the highest level of accountability.
That's
so we can criticize, and we do criticize the NFL ad nauseum, but like as I think, everybody who said that they were swearing off the league after Colin Kaepernick was kneeling, after players were kneeling, that they swore, we're never watching again. This is garbage. This is this and that. And the NFL put out Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
Yeah.
They said, never mind.
I laughed at all those people that said, I'm not going to watch again because it's a joke. It's like, you're not going to make a dent and you're going to be watching again. It's a joke. We tolerate everything that they do. They get away with anything and everything that they want, and they know they're going to get away with it. It's the way it is.
And look, and again, I love my job, man. I cover a game for a living. I cover a game for a living. I talk about a game for a living. It's amazing. Like I worked my ass off to get here, but I love that. That does not mean that I can't criticize, that I don't find fault in the league that I cover. There's plenty to be critical of. There's plenty to be skeptical of. And I guess I can leave it at that.
Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch him twice a week. You're doing his thing with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. Marcel, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll talk post-game on Sunday night.
Yeah, man. Coffee in hand.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Don't forget, folks, Saturday we're at Walk-Ons in Kendall, and we will be serving up a little Edge Energy Drink, baby. Yes, sir. So we'll have the Edge Energy Drink young lady out there serving some Edge so you can try it and mix it in with a little vodka. We're going to be giving away prizes from Caneswear. We're going to be giving away prizes from Perdomo Cigars. So we got all kinds of giveaways. So while you're watching, why watch the Canes and Duke game just at your house? Come on over to Walk-Ons. You might win some prizes. We can hang out, talk sports, all that good stuff. Sean will be there, myself, Mike McCoy. We'll get you ready with the pre and the post-game show. And in between, every quarter, we give out prizes over at Walk-Ons. So come on out there, 162nd, right off of Kendall Drive, which is 88th. All you do is get off on Kendall Drive in the Turnpike, go west about 10 minutes, and you're there, man. It's a beautiful thing. That is. And by the way, you can go to myedgedrink.com so you can get the finest energy drink on the planet. Support the great people that support our show, our platform. myedgedrink.com. Use the code Big O and get 10% off. 78 calories, delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. I can't say it enough. Once you drink it yourself, you will freak out. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Edge Energy Drink. All right. By the way, we do have a giveaway for you from Nature B, and we're giving away $100. It's a little over. It's valued over $100 prize pack from Nature B, and we've got the tweet out there. I don't know if you maybe you can bring up the tweet and they can check it out. All you got to do is follow Nature B NZ on Instagram. This is an Instagram giveaway. All right, so you got to go to Instagram, follow Nature B NZ on Instagram, tag a friend in your comments. Both you and your friend tagged will each be entered to win the prize pack. Use the hashtag Big O Radio Show on it. and you'll be entered in for the giveaway. All right? So we'll give it away in early December. So if you want to get in on the Nature Bee prize pack, go to Nature Bee NZ, that's for New Zealand, on Instagram. Only Instagram, not Twitter, not Facebook, not LinkedIn, not TikTok, nothing. Only IG. Okay? Nature Bee NZ. Tag a friend on Instagram. And then use the hashtag Big O Radio Show. And boom, you are in. And they will pick a winner. All right? So there you go. Go to Instagram and get it done. A nation of gambling degenerates. That's why the NFL is king. Pretty much. I would go with that. There's the tweet right there. There you go. Show them the prize pack. So show them the beautiful picture of the prize pack that's in there. There you go. See? There you go. You get a nice little health pack right there. Got the lip balm, too. That's good. I like that. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. What else do we have going on? All right. So Heat lose to the Bulls last night. Tyler Hero did play well, by the way. Got to give him credit. Strus did, too. I like Caleb Martin. Bam, I'm good with. He had a bad day. I can lean on that one. I'm good with that. Tua yesterday talking about his concussion, and I know that he almost joked about it. I know what he was going to joke about, by the way, because they asked him about, what do you remember, and he goes, well, I don't remember getting concussed at that moment, and getting, I think he said even getting out on the stretcher. If I'm correct, that he didn't even remember that part either.
Yeah, he said he remembered everything up to getting hit, and then he remembered being, I think, in the ambulance.
Right, exactly. And so he forgot all of those things. And it's interesting because then they asked him how many concussions has he had, and he says, pretty funny. This, you might find this funny, but I don't know. And I think he was going to joke when he was going to follow up with a joke. I think the joke was going to be, well, how can you remember the concussions if you forget when you get hit? I think that's what he was going to say, but he didn't want to make light of it. See, that's the problem with people out there. That's the joke he makes behind the scenes with his teammates, with his close people, not with us, because he doesn't allow us in there. And I know some of the media's butthurt about that. Oh, my God, Tua doesn't talk to us enough. Oh, he won't give me a one-on-one. Oh, this, that, whatever. And so, you hold it against him or whatever. But he's not that guy that's going to let you in. So he's talking about that, and I was thinking about this. When I suffered my concussion, it was a grade 2 concussion that I suffered, and my head hit concrete, the back of my head, just like his. But he has a helmet on, and it's grass. I hit concrete, no helmet, no protection. And I've explained it to you. My hands went like this. They didn't get all, like he had his fingers like all like, I don't know, mangled, twisted, whatever. My hands went like this and inward. I went like that. Like my hands were stretched out in front of me and they went like this. And I had no control over them. Now, the difference when he said that yesterday, I go, I never lost any consciousness. I know exactly I remember the hit. I remember landing. I remember hitting the back of my head on the concrete. I remember my arms, twisting up like I told you. And then I remember just trying to shake it off and then getting up as soon as possible, and that's why I try to pop up as soon as possible, and then obviously one of my best friends, kind of like, hey, you all right? Held me and all that. But I wasn't like, flopping over or anything like that, but I never lost consciousness. So I just wonder about those kind of hits that you lose consciousness. That or I have a really hard head. Right? It could be or something.
Probably
I
a
don't
little
know.
bit of both. I mean,
probably.
I suffered 3 concussions in wrestling.
Did you black out on any of
No,
them?
I never blacked out. I took
What did they level them? Was it a grade 1 or a grade 2 or you never found out?
I never found out. I just knew I
Smelling salt and you're out of there. And so you
put
never
some
even went to the hospital.
Well, one time I waited in the waiting room, and by the time they came to get me, I was already getting my faculties back. Like, it was hazy the whole time.
Right.
And then I started feeling better, and then like 3 hours they were sitting there waiting, and then I was like, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm fine.
Done. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Back in the ring the next day. But what the one time that I remember was I took a lobster pot to the head because I thought it was a popcorn. You know those popcorn things that we do a Christmas tree match, and I've talked about this before. And so it's the little tin can that like when you hit it, it makes this big sound. And the weapons were gift wrapped. So we went through. We knew what colors were the ones that were gift wrapped, so we knew. So he picked it up and he threw it. 18 by 18 ring. So I was in one corner and he was in the other. I came running at him. He threw it and it nailed me right in the head. And I swelled up. I was under a mask, and it actually swelled up this big. I had to it started stretching the mask and then the thing that when I was doing the gimmick we were doing was this wasn't a mask with eye holes. It was basically just a full. So if you start bleeding in the mask, you can suffocate.
Okay, yeah.
So once I took that, then I had to take a kendo stick shot too to finish the match. So when I went to take the kendo stick shot, I went to the other side. So the I don't know, the hematoma, whatever it was, this big swelled thing was above my right eye. I had to take the kendo shot on the left side because I was afraid if they hit that, it would bust open.
Right.
But then the funny thing about the whole thing was that I remember every moment of it.
Right.
I went home, I put ice pack on it.
We're all
the
different.
Swelling went down. Never once did I
Right. We're all different.
It's just so weird on certain things.
It'll
honestly,
affect people. It'll affect people different ways.
When I watch that hit back, it's the swinging motion, and I think it's the whiplash motion that actually ends up. And I go back to his back injury. I know they're talking a lot about his back injury. And I wonder when the whip, and I get it, he might have hit his head a little bit, but I'm wondering if it was just more of the whiplash in the way he was swung around more than the
could have been
hitting the head on the ground.
I'm not smart enough to know what it
far
is.
From it, but it just
you know what I mean. It's just one of those.
I
we
went
can't
back at
figure
the
out.
22 and watched it, and it just does not look like the Buffalo hit looks harder than it does on the head of that one. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. But the one thing that none of us can measure is how it affects people and how it affects them down the line or in short term or whatever. There are some people that can just shake it off and you move on. And then there are some people that will have recurring headaches because of that concussion for a month or 2 or 3. For me, I suffered my grade 2 concussion. I was fine by, the next day. I was pretty much fine. Little hazy a little bit, but I didn't have any headaches or anything like that. And the following week, I was driving a truck across the country. So it wasn't like, it wasn't anything that was really affecting me. Thank the Lord. I got lucky. Maybe, that's all it is. Maybe it's just luck. That's all it is. All right. Maybe that's just what it's all about, but it's interesting how you talk about this injury and it's something that affects everybody differently. And that's why maybe this rule, I was thinking you can't treat everybody the same. And at one point or another, people have rights. And if they want to keep playing and they want to do it, and you're checking them out and they checked out, you did your job. They checked out. They're fine. Now, if they're still groggy and it's like a fighter. The guy's, you do the 8 count and he's still, no, that's it. And the fight, that's it. You're done, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Okay. But if somebody slams themselves and yet they can bounce back right away and they're fine, what are you going to do? This is how they make their living. Lots of people make their living doing dangerous things. It's their choice. But I just thought it was interesting when he mentioned that. And I compared it to my experience where I did not lose consciousness. I know exactly what happened the entire time. Sean, same thing. concussed, but he knew exactly what happened to him. We're all completely different. And that's where this rule, I don't like it because it could have already cost the Dolphins a game. Miami should be 4-2, worst case scenario right now. You keep Teddy in there, you might win the game. But what are you going to do? So I just thought when he talked about that yesterday, I wanted to elaborate a little bit on that. Congratulations to the Panthers, by the way. They defeated the Flyers 4-3. They are 3-1 on the season. Carter Verhaeghe, bro. Right? I mean, dude, that was so much fun watching him do his thing. But anyway, just congratulations to the Cats. They've got Tampa Bay on Friday night. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's so different watching the team this year.
Oh, yeah.
I get it. We're only 4 games. I understand that.
No, but it's a physical game.
Yes,
it's slower down. It's slowed
more
down.
like watching playoff hockey every night instead of the sprint up and down and 20 goals, which was exciting as hell. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But we saw what it ended up being once we got to the playoffs.
Right. And you end up putting a lot of pressure on your goalie because he's taking in a lot of shots when you're playing that style. This style, you might be able to protect the guy a little bit more and he wouldn't have to face as many shots.
Last night it was 6-on-4 because of a penalty, and then they pulled the goalie. No shots on goal.
Right.
Because of the defense of the Panthers. I mean, again, that's where we're looking at. And hopefully this year we don't have to pay meow, 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 meow at the end of the year.
Big O, so your arms went up after you fell without control? No, they didn't go up. They were down. I'm just showing you. It went like this, but downward, and like in front of my waist, in front of my hips. Yeah, right, like this. Like that. That's how they just went. They almost met together on the, and I'm facing my arms down. I was like on the ground, and they were like that. I'm looking down, and I couldn't control it. Weirdest thing. But then it popped right back. By the way, Vasquez, I'm with you on that. Big O, I want to see Tua do a golf swing celebration after scoring his 3rd and 4th TDs on Sunday. Big O, how big of a hole did you leave in that poor concrete? Oh, dude, the crater was about that big. Yeah, I got a hard head. There's no doubt about that. Yep. So Kenny Pickett was diagnosed and put under concussion protocol on Sunday. He's cleared to practice and expected to play on Sunday. The NFL's back to their old tricks, bro. Come on.
That too, and then also, again, the reason he's playing is because it's Mitch Trubisky behind him. So if he's healthy, and again, Teddy Bridgewater, the thing with Mike McDaniel is he makes everything game specific. So Teddy wasn't going to be available for the practice. I get it. Pickett came back earlier than Teddy was going to be allowed. But it was still McDaniel said, my offense is set up to be specific. If Teddy's not available till then to practice, it makes no sense. That's why I'm naming Skyler the starter on Monday.
Right.
So, I mean, again, it's 2 different variables. But, yes, he came back a day earlier than what Bridgewater was allowed to, I guess.
Dougie Fresh says, there is actually a way. It was developed about 15 years ago where your saliva is tested for concentrations of microRNA. In minutes, they can tell if you've been concussed. It's 97% accurate, too. Wow. I know they tested me, but it was a long time ago. But, yeah.
The NFL does not want that.
Yeah.
They don't want that. They'd have to go to 104-man rosters.
Yeah. Yep. Been jamming to out to E Papare since you put it on my radar. Carlos Santana's the GOAT. Not many that can make a guitar sing like him. And I can't say that last word, but yes, I'm with you. E Papare is just, it's one of those, it's a great Santana song. And nobody knows it because it's an under the radar song. It's not Black Magic Woman. It's not Oye Como Va. It's not any of the popular tunes. If you know E Papare, it's because you're like a hardcore Santana fan. And so that's why it's one of those. Once you hear it, and if you love Santana, once you hear that song, forget about it. You're gonna go, wow, how did I never hear this song from Santana? Because it's such a badass song. Anyway, let's take a quick break. 2 hours down. We got one more to go out here at beautiful Hialeah Park. We're in the second floor poker room. I can see everybody having some fun. They're getting drinks delivered to them. You can eat. You got all the TVs going on. Downstairs, we got the loosest slots in the state of Florida, baby. And you can sign up to win an F-150. Come on, man. Did you go play downstairs already? You in it already? You in? You got some?
Did you see me leave?
No, I'm just saying. Got to get your entries in. So Ford F1, that is one of the best electric cars on the planet right now. Congratulations to Ford. That truck has, wow, they nailed it. I got to tell you. And that's what I want to get next. When I get an electric car, I want to get a truck. I didn't want a truck before during gas times because, brother, I don't feel like driving around something that gets 12 miles to the gallon, 15 miles to the gallon. You know what I'm saying? But now that F-150, if your house loses power, you can connect it to the truck and it can power some of the stuff in your house. That's how badass that truck is. So go check it out if you want, or come down here, go on down there, go play a couple machines, and you're entered right away to win the F-150. All right? So there you go. Let's take a break.
I might do it right now during the break.
That's it. Hour number 3 of the Big O Radio Show continues.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
We are ready to start hour number 3 here on the program, and we're going to be joined by Alan Poupart now. We're ready to rock on the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. How you feeling, my friend? Feeling good?
No, I'm tired, but we'll slog through it.
Yes. Get through it. Teron Armstead freak you out a little bit today? Did you like have to do a double take? Did you have to make sure that it wasn't an imposter out on the field there?
Yeah, some good news right there. And you know what? The better news is going to be when this name no longer appears on the injury report. But that was obviously a step in the right direction, and that's big. Certainly trending like he's playing Sunday night, which obviously would be good news. And it looks like the opposite is true of Austin Jackson, who I'm gonna assume has taken a step back since we're not seeing him on the field.
High ankle sprain, right? It's got to be a high ankle sprain.
That's what I think. That's what it was funny because McDaniel actually said it and then kind of backtracked, and he said it was along the lines of when you're dealing with a high ankle sprain or an injury to an ankle, and so yeah, I kind of got the feeling he caught himself.
When you do it, when you're out this many weeks, it's not an ankle sprain. I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. None of us are stupid. Either that or you're lying to us and it's a completely different injury. But if it's this many weeks, no ankle takes this long. Now, high ankles, any of us that have had a high ankle injury, and I've had one, bro, those things last forever. They are brutal, dude.
Reminds me of, if you don't know if you remember, I believe the name was Travis Webster, was a first-round pick.
Yes.
Nick Saban told us he had an ankle injury. It was day to day, and 6 weeks later, he's still not back in the lineup.
Right.
And we came to find out it was indeed a high ankle sprain.
Of course, when it's this long, it's a high ankle sprain.
Correct.
Normal ankles, bro, they're back in a week or two. Please, you're not out very long with regular ankles. So one of the decisions is easy. All right, I asked Marcel this. So who starts? Does Austin Jackson start? Does Greg Little start? Or does Brandon Shell start?
Oh, I think it's pretty clear. Well, it's definitely not Austin Jackson because
right.
And I don't think it's Greg Little. I think they elevate Brandon Shell for a third consecutive week, and he starts our right tackle. I think you saw a guy who was pretty clearly solid last week. Greg Little was good the first couple of games at right tackle, then his play slipped, and then he moved to left tackle last week, and it wasn't good. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't go with Brendan Shell, and my expectation is sooner rather than later he's going to get signed to the 53.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's no doubt. The way I watched him play, he's going to become the swing tackle on the team. I can guarantee you that already. Just by watching him, he's better than Greg Little, dude. I mean, you're better than Greg Little, but I mean, you know, I give the guy some credit. I thought he did all right, man. Considering being thrown to the fire right off the street, I thought he actually did a half decent. So you're with me on that one. So it's Brandon Shell should be the starter.
I'll take it a step further and say that if he has, because to me the issues last week were Greg Little and were Liam Eichenberg from where I sat. And if they put Brandon Shell in the starting lineup against the Steelers and he performs well, there's no hurry to bring Austin Jackson back in the starting lineup. That's
right. Now you're not as desperate if he can hold his own. I agree with you. Now Eichenberg is definitely not holding his own, and it's like when are you going to give Robert Jones a shot? Okay, because that's you got to give Robert Jones a shot overall. So I don't know what's going on there, but that one's hard to explain because it reminds me of the NFL telling me that Teddy Bridgewater had some kind of ataxia, and I can't see it anywhere in the film. Please don't tell me that Eichenberg is worth staying in the lineup because I don't see it in the film. I really don't. I mean, he is a detriment to any quarterback.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. What I notice everywhere where I see the flaws are in pass protection. I haven't necessarily studied enough his run blocking to see maybe he's been very, very good in the run blocking.
Larry Little, by the way, we had Larry Little on a little while ago, and he was like, yeah, the pass protection is where they're really, really struggling at times. Eichenberg, he was talking about, actually. He hasn't been happy with Eichenberg either, by the way.
It's like, dude, he can't pick up, like I said the other day, he can't pick up a twist or a stun up front. I mean, it's not, that's kind of an essential part of the job of an offensive lineman, to be able to recognize those and makes a switch when you need to.
I'm with you. It's just funny the way you phrased it. All right. Your thoughts on Tua's press conference yesterday and his reaction to getting rid of the football?
Yeah, he didn't say anything that we don't. Number one, that we don't know. Number two, that he hasn't said before. It's one of those where I think he recognizes the problem, but there's a difference between saying it, like it's me saying, well, I know I need to eat better, like all the time, consistently, and actually doing it. That's all fine and dandy. The big test is going to come with the first time when a play breaks down and he's hanging under the ball and the pressure gets to him after, 3-4 seconds, whatever, or 6 seconds like it was at Cincinnati. And then we see him having made the correct and wise decision, just chuck the ball away. Seriously, chuck the ball away. It's not the end of the world.
I'm with you there. And speaking of not eating right, I can't wait to cheat with you over at the Combine this year because I haven't been there in like 3 years, right? This might be, it's 3 years. It'll be 3 years. I haven't been there. I haven't had those damn garlic rolls with the cheese
pizza bread.
Oh my God, that stuff is.
You're on. You're absolutely on.
Wait till Sean actually try. Sean hasn't tried it yet, so he's hitting the road. Well, I know actually he doesn't have to go to the Combine. The Combine is the one that he's not going to. He's got to go to the Senior Bowl, but I actually don't need him that much for the Combine, so he's lucky. So I'll probably go by myself but I can't wait this year, bro. I get back to hitting the road again, bro.
There you go. Excellent.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that. All right, so we've got Armstead back, Jackson out, looks like it. Waddle, you think he's going to play, right? It was limited, and he came back in the game after and all that. I know the kid felt like shit because he had those two, terrible plays, but it looks to you like he's going to end up playing, right?
Let's say 75-25. I mean,
right.
Not ideal that he's wearing the red jersey at practice, but it seemed like he's on the injury report every single week, and he always plays. And even in training camp was the same deal. He didn't play, but the concern was always bigger than it seemed like the reality was. So Yeah, I'd say he may be trending. Agba's one that's kind of worrisome. That's 2 straight days he didn't practice, with a back injury.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
going to be fickle.
It could be a vet thing that they're like giving him extra rest so he can feel better. Like maybe he can move around in practice, but they're like, yeah, you know what? Let's hold you out. You've been practicing all year, so conditioning isn't going to be a problem. Let's let that back rest and stay away from the football activities for a couple days. I think that could be the case. I think if you see him tomorrow, I think that'll be the sign because tomorrow's practice is not really. It's kind of a I don't know what is it a juiced up walkthrough is what you call it, right? Right, a juiced up walkthrough is what you call Friday's practice, right? Something like that.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
Yeah, something like that. So maybe I think tomorrow might be the one that you want to worry with Ogba. All right, so let me ask you about the corners. Kohu looks like he's fine, right? Because he came back yesterday and looks like today he's practicing again. So it looks like they're through the woods with him so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember looking at him on the injury report. I mean, he may have been limited for a second consecutive day. I'm not overly concerned with him. Crossan hasn't practiced.
Remember, they held him out this past week. That's why I asked about Kohu. That's why.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
so my expectation would be to be back in the lineup. Be interesting to see if he does play, if they wind up starting him, or if they wind up starting Noah.
Right.
Because I think Noah did enough good things that maybe he starts and Kohu's the slot.
Damn it, bro! You jumped on me there. That was going to be a follow up. So, have you gone back to see the film and watch Noah? Because it was cool to see him do more positives than negatives, in that game. But I have not gone back to watch all the plays to see how he did. Your thoughts on Noah overall? And we can't say he's turned the corner until we see him play, good for a few weeks. Then we can say, hey, now something's happening. But your thoughts on his play last week?
No, and the thing about him too is it man, does it look like it doesn't come naturally to him.
It's not supposed
holy smokes. But to me, there was great progress in the 2 pass breakups that he had where he actually turned his head to look back at the ball, which is not something I'd ever seen him do before. So that's a major step in the right direction. Now, the DPI he got, I mean, it's a simple double move. I mean, it wasn't anything. It wasn't Devontae Adams, like doing some fancy footwork there.
But that's a clear weakness of his. He bites on that all the time, bro.
Because he doesn't.
He reminds me of that mustache spit dude in Major League that he can't stay away from the high fastballs, and so you got to throw him the high fastballs because he can't stay away from them. That's what it reminds me of. Like, number 9, yeah, just do a double move on him. He bites on it every time. That's what it seems.
Or a kid from a league of their own. She can't stay away from the high hard one.
That's it.
No, but you can tell, and even the first pass breakup, it was weird because he turned quickly enough. Where to me, and I got like.
He could have caught it. I know what you're about to say. He could have caught it.
Immediately, he went like this. Immediately, I'm like, dude, you're allowed to try to catch it,
Yeah.
And that speaks to me as a guy who just doesn't.
It's not natural yet to him. It's not confident because, as you know, the confident corner wants to catch the ball. The confident corner becomes a receiver in those moments. He's not just looking to bat it down. You know what I'm saying? The linebacker, the clumsy safety. Yeah, that dude just wants to bat it down and make sure he didn't give up the play. But the badass corner, you're right. He wants to catch that ball every time.
I mean, Eric, Xavier turns his head and it's like, oh, that's mine. And Noah, I mean, will he ever get there? Who knows? But there was some progress. I'm not sure I trust him against like the Steelers don't have good receivers. I'm not sure they have Justin Jefferson, but Johnson's a nice receiver. Chase Claypool's a nice receiver, and George Pickens. They wouldn't stop raving about him in training camp. That hasn't translated so far in the regular season for them.
Receivers take time. Also, it's not one of those things. Sometimes it takes them a little bit to kind of figure that out. So I never freak out on receivers early on because it's not an easy position.
No, that's fair. But I remember talking to somebody in Pittsburgh over the summer, and my question was like, is he as good as everything I'm hearing? And he's basically better. It's like there's not everything you might have heard about him is not enough. So,
Right.
And the highlights you've seen since the regular season started is he's basically pushing guys to the ground on running plays. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah.
I mean, it's jeez.
Your thoughts in this game? What do you think happens? You like them this week?
Yeah, I mean, Steelers had a really nice win against Tampa Bay last Sunday, but this is not a good team. This is not a typical Steelers team. They'll have Pickett at quarterback. Looks like I haven't seen anything from him that really dazzles me. If TJ Watt was playing, I'd be a lot more concerned about their defense because without him, I mean, Alex Highsmith's got some nice sack numbers, but I mean, TJ Watt's a game wrecker. And
I love Highsmith, man. I liked him in the East-West Shrine game when I saw him a couple years back. He was I remember he had that green funky helmet. Where was he from? Like
Charlotte, I believe, right?
Charlotte, that's it. Charlotte, that's what it was. Remember they had a funky logo or something. I forgot what it was, but yeah.
He's a nice player, but Watt's a game wrecker.
No, yeah. Watts is a superstar, bro.
Correct. And if Watt was playing, I'd have my concerns about dealing with that defense. Now, not so much. And then their offensive line's really bad. Although actually, I'm told that it's been playing fairly well. Harris isn't right. It doesn't look like the same guy he was last year. Been dealing with injuries, foot injuries since the start of the regular season. And again, the dynamic player that we saw last year is not quite there yet. So it's really shaping up. It's a game that the Dolphins are really well set up to win.
By the way, do you laugh? Because I'm sure you've gotten the emails or the tweets or the DMs. Oh, Flo's really going to come after Tua this week. He's going to really have that defense dialed up. And like, do they know that Terrell Austin's the defensive coordinator, that he's just a linebackers coach? He's not really going to make a lot of calls. And he doesn't really know a lot about this offense anymore because it's completely different.
Right.
So it's just like, I mean, and hell, he probably doesn't even know Tua's tendencies because he doesn't even know how to play Tua when he had him here as it is. So I'm just, I just laugh at the misconceptions of what they think Flo is going to be a part of this weekend.
No, there's only so much you can do, you know. It's not the only homecoming though. We also got Minkah Fitzpatrick with another homecoming.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And the last time he played, his last two games actually at Hard Rock Stadium, that 1 year, he was on the wrong side of scores of 59-10 and 43-0.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
We may have flashbacks if it starts going south for the Steelers on Sunday night.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you there, brother. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and the offense. I think you're going to see a much different offense now. Where I heard people talk about, well, they can't score points, this, that. Dude, they lost their quarterback. This guy will help you score points compared to the last two guys did a fine job filling in, but your franchise guy is back. You'll be able to finish some of these drives that they have struggled with the last couple of weeks. You agree with that?
They were. I mean, I crunched the numbers actually. The two main areas of major difference from the first three games to the last three games was red zone, but they were slightly better. They weren't like way better. I have the numbers right here: 7 for 9 the first three games, 5 for 8 in the last three. So it's not a huge difference. The big difference is third down conversions, where you've gone from 48.5, which is basically near the top of the league, and then the last three games was 28.6. Yeah. That's a big difference. We also have to factor in that Armstead played one quarter, even half of a quarter against the Jets, and didn't play at all against Minnesota.
That's very important.
That's another bonus.
That's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you.
With the totality of that, with Tua back, with Armstead back, I think there's reason to hope that the offense is going to have a much better performance than we've seen the last three games.
By the way, I did a piece yesterday on because people talk about Flo this, Flo that, and I compared Flo to Ernie from Scarface. So, you know, they're there in Lopez Motors, and, you know, they got to put the guy down, right? And so then there's Ernie with his bottle of Jack, sweating bullets, and Tony turns to him, "You want a job?" "Sure, Tony. Sure, yes, yeah. Hey, you got a job." To me, Ernie and Flo nobody was going to give him a job at that point. You know what I mean? And then Tomlin kind of scar-faced it and said, "Yeah, we'll give you a job." And he's kind of Ernie from Scarface. What do you think about that?
It's a funny analogy. I like it. Loyal to the end and see where I got him at the end.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Who else is going to give him a job? If you really look at it, okay, so you tried to screw over the people that hired you. You wanted the guy that hired you. You wanted to take his job and become the GM and the personnel guy. And then the guy that brought you into the league for 16 years, you screwed him over by exposing his techs. Like, who is going to trust you from here on out, bro? Like, you are a backstabber. I mean, you know, that's it. Is it the OJs or the Spinners? Who sings Backstabbers?
That's the OJs.
The OJs.
You're also painting a very one-sided portrait of the whole situation, which considering your feelings for Flo is not exactly surprising, and that's kind of been consistent.
I love Flo. He's such a fantastic dude.
Yeah. Squeeze a lot of wins out of that roster the last 2 years, and you can't deny that.
That's right, with Tua. That's right. Without Tua, he had a losing record. And he didn't even realize that. That's the part that's frustrating.
He had a losing record with Fitzpatrick in 2020, sorry.
Okay, but overall he did.
Well, it's because he had Jacoby Brissett as his starting quarterback last year.
I think didn't Fitz overall have a losing record?
Yeah, because if you're counting 2019 when they were basically an expansion team, in 2020 they had a winning record with Fitz at quarterback.
All I can tell you is that when Tua plays, it's a winning record in 19, in 20, in 21, whatever. Oh no, what is it? 2021.
He played 19. He was at Alabama.
2021. Well, that was also a winning record. But no, 2021 and 22, Tua only has a winning record. Just saying. Just saying.
That's true.
Just saying. All right, follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. And again, you know what the rules are. And if you don't, well, then what the hell's wrong with you? You're not a Dolphins fan if you can't bookmark alldolphins.com. That's how you keep up with everything going on in the NFL. This man writes 47 articles an hour. Okay, that's a lot of articles in a whole day. So make sure you go to alldolphins.com and get all the information you can handle, except the negative stuff on Flo. All right. We'll see you later on next week, my friend.
Sounds good. Have a great weekend.
All right, you got it. There you go. The great Alan Poupart from Sports Illustrated, baby. And our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. By the way, RedRecover.com is a proud sponsor of our show. We love Red Recover. And I just got the foot wrap for my wife. Okay, they just created a foot wrap. So for those of you that are on your feet all day and you've got those sore feet and you need to recover, man, Red Recover has got that red light therapy and the foot wrap for you. There are no chemicals. There are no drugs. It's all natural red light therapy. It's great for adults. It's great for kids. It's great for dogs. We got the wraps also, the small wraps for the small dogs, the bigger wraps for the bigger dogs, for their shoulders and their hind legs. And remember, you know how when dogs get older, they have problems with their hips. Well, this will allow them to have better function, less pain, less discomfort, all of those kind of things, less wear and tear. Go to redrecover.com, check it out. Check out the video blogs. Not only is it great for pain and discomfort and surgeries and old injuries and those kind of things, but it's also fantastic to optimize your workouts. So before you go play that pickleball game, before you go walking or running or playing football or baseball or softball or hockey or whatever you do as a weekend warrior, you can wear the wraps before and after. You know, maybe you have an old knee injury or ankle injury and it gets a little sore after walking or rehab or working out, right? Well, you can use these wraps before and after your workouts and you're going to feel completely different. It's amazing. Go to redrecover.com. Incredibly affordable, and you're going to get 10% off using our code BIG-O. Go to redrecover.com. You're looking for a wrap for your elbow, your shoulder, your neck, back, knees, ankles, you name it. They've got a wrap for you. Your feet, dogs, redrecover.com. All right. Big O, I bought the foot wrap for my grandfather. Good for you, dude. My wife's been on it now the last couple days, and she loves it. Okay, it's making her feet feel a lot better now when she's standing all day. So she gets home, and we're sitting down watching television. She puts it on one foot. 15 minutes later, she puts it on the other foot, and that's it. It's gone, man. And what I love about the wraps is, you know, you want to put on a shoulder wrap, you can still walk around the house because it's a battery. It's a rechargeable battery. It's not connected to the outlet or anything, so you're stuck in one place. So if you want to go walking and you want to have the shoulder wrap on, you can go ahead and do that if you want. If you want to go out to the backyard and you need to do something or whatever, you're in the office just working. You can put the knee wrap on, the ankle wrap on while you keep working. It's only 15 minutes. Then you take it off and leave it there, and that's it. Super easy and super convenient to work. Go to redrecover.com and you will love it. I promise you. How do you think Big O recovered from his concussion? He wrapped his head. There you go. I wish we would have had those Red Recover for the head. I always wonder if Tony would have let Ernie go had he said no. I always wonder if Tony would have let Ernie go if he had said no. Carlisle. Who? What?
At the car lot, the Scarface scene.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Now I'm thinking sports. He's thinking, oh, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, no, if he would have said no, he would have shot him right through the Jack Daniels bottle. Yeah, he would have put his ass out right there. Yeah. But he, at least he said yes and then lived for a little while more until Sosa sent all his guys over and you know, ended that whole thing. And that's it. What else do we have? So Mac Jones apparently has an attitude problem. I thought he was the next Tom Brady. What?
A minute ago, they just had a show on. I don't know what channel I'm watching here. FS1. It said Mac Jones is the starter when healthy.
Yes. Yeah. No, that they have said that. But apparently now they're reporting that he has an attitude problem with, you know, the whole, because the Zappy kid played well last week. So Mac Jones, now there's a new report that Mac Jones has an attitude problem and that there's friction between him and the Patriots. Albert Breer and Ben Volen both reported on it, became a talking point. Are the Patriots going to let Mac Jones continue to be the starter? It persisted into Wednesday morning, largely thanks to Volen, who appeared on Boston radio to throw out that Mac Jones has attitude problems and everyone in the building knows it. And let me tell you, Ben is a good reporter. He usually finds out good information. What you never, ever want to listen to Ben Volen about is, does he know if a quarterback's any good or not? That he doesn't know, okay? Because he had Tom Brady done about 5 or 6 years ago, and he was way off there, and he also thought that Tua couldn't play. So that's the only thing. Ben's a nice guy. Never take his opinion on whether a quarterback can play or not. Now, reporting news, he does a real good job of that. Obviously, so does Albert Breer. So we'll see now. One report suggests that they're using Zappy to teach Mac Jones a lesson. Mac Jones beat out, but not in his prime, Cam Newton for the starting gig last year, but now it believes that he has some real competition in Zappy, and it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world for Mac to get a big head after being crowned the next franchise QB following Tom Brady. There you go.
This is Brady Garoppolo all over again, right?
Oh. And, well, Zappy is the owner's
I
guy.
feel like this is Bill Belichick is what Vince McMahon was in WWE. Wash, rinse, and repeat.
Right.
And you know what? It worked with the turmoil with Garoppolo and Brady. Let me recreate it here with Mac Jones and Zappy.
Okay, if that's what you want to do,
What else is what?
I just don't think any of them are Tom Brady.
I don't either. But I mean,
like,
I feel like that's what he's hanging on to, though. And I got to ask a question because you brought it up the other day with the wedding.
Yes.
You're not invited to the owner's wedding. You got to think the writing's on the wall soon, right?
No,
If you're not winning?
apparently he was invited. He chose not to go because he had too much to do.
Oh, because Tom
to
was
get
there.
the team
Okay.
ready. You know what I mean? But everybody else was there.
Yeah.
So
All the players that he was
you
getting
just
ready.
wonder if those two really get along. I think they tolerate each other, but I don't know about getting along. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where I have that's where at least that's what it comes off as.
Yeah. No,
Put
I
it that
agree.
way. Okay? It just comes off as Kraft, okay, dude, you're winning, so yeah, I
Yeah, I'll
can't
keep
fire
you
you.
here.
You know what I mean? But you're an asshole. I would love to fire you. But if you win, well, then you're producing for me. I got to keep
Yeah,
you
he's
around.
putting money in his pocket.
Right. But I think another year or two of kind of what you are now, I think eventually they'll run him out of town. I think Kraft will part ways with him if it really doesn't turn around in the next couple of years.
And if these stories end up being accurate, you start seeing turmoil in the locker room and everywhere else.
Exactly. Zukoku says thoughts on Zion looking pretty good. Nothing. No thoughts whatsoever. It's one game. He hasn't had enough time to travel around and eat bad food and gain more weight. And as season goes on, talk to me in a couple months if he can stay healthy and he can stay in shape. He looked terrific. But do I buy anything from Zion? No, I don't buy anything from Zion until I actually see it. So I need to see true dedication from him, that he is committed to actually getting it done. And then I'll believe it. Then I'll say, okay, you're right. This guy really committed himself and turned the corner. But I'm not one of, like, some people are freaking out with the Heat. I'm not freaking out with the Heat. It's one game. Let's give this some time. I am freaking out with Lowry, but I'm not freaking out about the Heat or Bam. Bam had a bad night. Bam always plays hard, and I don't expect him to become an offensive force anyways. When he does, that'll be the first time he's ever become one. So it'll be pleasantly, it'll be a pleasant surprise that I'm going to love to see. But do I expect it? No. So I'm not going to overreact one way or the other with Zion. Zion has proven that you can't trust him. So I need to see enough before I trust him. One game means zero to me whatsoever. I don't care. Karen says not supposed to use these kind of words in football, Big O, but the way young Tua said, "Oh gosh," in the video you shared was freaking adorable. All right. Oh yeah, when he was young, yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You are correct, sir. Or ma'am, Karen. Let's see. It's actually a false report. Ben Volen got trolled by Barstool's account member. Really? Well, how come they're reporting it and then he's on Twitter with them on the show?
His attitude problem is obvious in the building, and everyone knows it. So, like,
somebody not just a random.
Take that for what it's worth. But
somebody reached out and said that Mac has an attitude problem, and everybody in the building knows it. Sounds like nonsense.
Okay. Sound like a false report there? No, right? Okay. All right. I think I just played the audio, right? Like, he said that the guy has an attitude problem. I'm not exactly sure. Do you follow Facebook reports? One of our listeners was like, he got political on me, right? So then I followed up, and how bogus it was what he brought up, and like, and do you guys like check your people that are reporting? Do you like look at it and say, okay, yeah, this outlet can't be trusted and all that kind of stuff? Is there a legitimate person behind the report? That kind of. No, it's what your friend told you. It's a Facebook post. Yeah, that stuff, that bogus stuff happens a lot in this world. A lot of you just repeat things that are inaccurate. So, Peter, it's not a false report. Ben Volen didn't get trolled. It's real. There it is. He just said it. He said it on EEI. 2 Extreme says, I'm not freaking out on the Heat. First, I'm used to being disappointed in Bam. And second, Kyle Lowry looks exactly the same as last year. This looks like another year Butler is going to have to drag. Volen apologized today? Why? Well, wait a minute. So then what you're saying, it's not a bogus report. You're saying that he lied? He had a bad source? I'd like to follow that up. Find out if Ben Volen had a bad source. Did he? That's bad. That's a bad look for him, bro. That's a bad look for him. Is it true? Stuff, but is it Volen? Is it like legit? All right, go ahead. No, you tell me there what it says.
No, it's come sideaction.com. They
Right.
say Patriots beat writer Ben Volen apologized after getting duped in DMs. And then it looks like an accurate thing. I was trying to go to Twitter before I jumped on.
Dupe in DMs for what?
Because I guess they sent him the story.
Oh, about
it. So then he started reporting on it. And
so he had a fake source.
I'm guessing they read it to him. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, it was
So
8 hours ago.
Wait a minute. He had a fake source that he couldn't even talk to physically?
It said, hey, everybody, just want to acknowledge I made a mistake Wednesday on WEEI. I should have not spoken of the DM without vetting it first. No excuses. It won't happen again. I appreciate the feedback and comments I've received.
Wow. That's a terrible look for him. That's a terrible look. How do you get a DM and you don't go check with that source again? Like, I at least for me, when I break stories, I get to I talk physically to the person. I don't just, no. And if I know something's going to break, I already planned it with the person or persons, and they're going to then, okay, I will send you something when it happens. So it's already set, and the wheels are in motion. That's wow. That's bad. That's almost as bad as his predictions of Brady out and Tua can't play. That's where I lost it for him. He's a nice guy, but I would never have him on for football opinions again because it's like, yeah, no, dude, no. You had Brady done and you said Tua can't play. Yeah, you're done with me. I'm good. I certainly don't need your football opinion on this show. But I thought he would at least be good and responsible in breaking stories. Wow. That's woo. That's bad. That's bad. No, it can't be his source trolling him, Karen. Has to be a fake account that he fell for or something. Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah, but you got to.
It's kind of like the stuff with Ian Rappaport and stuff where, you don't look at the thing and then you see the blue check and the Ian Rappaport name and then you look at the @ and it's like got you.
Yeah, but you gotta reach back to your source.
I
and
think
say,
at that point, yes.
Are you serious? This guy's got an attitude problem. Like tell me more. This, that,
Yeah, especially that story in that town. And
yeah,
I mean that's
like, dude, are you serious? Like you better like put that out there. Like you better know. So yeah, that's bad. That's a bad poor guy. That's a bad look for him. Good thing is they don't really hold you accountable in today's world.
Oh, Belichick will hold him accountable.
Well, Belichick, yeah.
Belichick's waiting.
Yeah. Belichick is going to have his ass.
That media day.
Yeah. Belichick's going to have his ass. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, the PR department's going to relay something that's not going to be very nice.
He's going to be like, hey, Ben, why don't you report this?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Ben's going to have any access to Mac Jones one-on-ones. Not anytime soon. Yeah. True Finn fan says, let's relax with the Heat, okay? They'll be fine and entertain us Miami fans as usual. Bam is not a number 2, and Jimmy is not a number 1. They need a true superstar, and then we'll compete for a ring. Amen. The only problem with that, True Finn fan, is that they're too old already for that. You had to do that with Jimmy the last couple of years. You're putting more mileage on Jimmy this year, and you're not getting the superstar this year. That's already done. You don't have the ammo you need to trade for a superstar, and there is no superstar available that you could even have. So you're now going to put another year on Jimmy and Lowry. Come on, bro. So the championship window for the Heat is pretty much done. Let's be honest. Now it's clearing out the salaries in the next couple years, and then with the young guys that you have, then you add a superstar on top of that, then maybe you can start getting back into that. But what you're currently structured, the way you're structured now, and of course the way you put it, sir, you are 1,000% right. Bam's not a 2, not a 1, and Jimmy's not a 1. He's a 2. So you got to go get your 1. But the problem is Jimmy will no longer be a 2 by the time you need to go get that 1. And that's the issue there. You know, you are playing with fire with Jimmy Butler as many years as he has and mileage that he has on his body now at this point. And you failed in your first 2 years to go get that superstar next to him. Now you're not going to see the best returns from him. You already got your best returns. It's hard to imagine anything getting better. It's realistic to expect everything to start going downhill with him. And so, sorry if I, busted your bubble or disappointed you, but I'm not trying to shock you or anything. I'm just telling you the brutal honesty on it. You had to team up Jimmy with that superstar the first 2 years. Not on the back end of this deal, unfortunately. Jamie says, Big O, I almost don't want the Dolphins to get primetime games at home early in the season. That way they can take advantage of the Heat. Well, you could still take advantage even in the evenings because our evenings are still sweltering. Well, it wasn't last night. Damn, last night was nice, bro. Last night was awesome, dude. Does it heat up on the weekend? Does the heat wave come back? Because that's what we need. We need those sweltering evenings. Problem is we're now into late October. So, yeah, kind of changes. 84, 72? Oh, yeah, so 72 is nothing. Yeah, so they get a break. Yeah, I'm with you, but it needs to be a 1:00 game. Yeah, we're not getting a hot night, unfortunately. I think his source took a fake story, not expecting to write about it per Tobin and Leroy. Well, that's not a source then. You understand what I'm saying? I've been doing this for 33 years now, almost. I don't have fake sources. That doesn't exist. That's an oxymoron. You can't be a source if you're fake. So why would you follow the story of a fake source? Or why would a source send you a fake story? Then that's not a real source. I mean, real sources are players, front office executives, coaches, agents. These are the people that we talk to. They're not going to be joking around sending you fake stories, dude. Those people don't have time for that shit. At least the people I talk to, they would never send me. I can't imagine a general manager, an assistant general manager, a personnel director, a college director of scouting, a pro director of scouting, a regional scout, a regular scout. I talk to people of all those levels. Not one of them has ever sent me a fake story. Okay? They might send me a joke, of something going on around the league that is clearly like a joke. It's a meme, and we'll laugh about it and we'll talk. But they would not send you fake stories. That doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying. He must have followed something that wasn't real, and I don't know what the hell. I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
I feel like Bill Belichick told somebody, send this out to everybody. Let's see who reports it.
I like it. I like it.
And Volan took it.
And Volan took it hook, line, and sinker.
All right. Also, I bet you it was Belichick figuring out who the mole in the office was too, because that story gets out now. It's like I only told a handful of you guys, so it's one of you 3 or 4 in this room.
Well, QM has his inaccurate ass on all the time. He doesn't know what a quarterback looks like, and apparently he can't report stories. So maybe Joe and the boy. I wonder if Joe and the boys will ask him about that. Hey Ben, you said Tom Brady couldn't play about 6 years ago. How'd that work out for you? They can't pick on him for Tua because none of them thought Tua could play either. So they were just as wrong as Ben. And then would they bring up this, hey, Ben, what happened to that attitude story? Yeah, I doubt they're going to do that. Yeah, I doubt it. That's funny. That's hilarious. That dude got fooled. That's just, wow. I'm not exactly sure if I'm his editor, I am now having the same trust in him now. I got to be honest. I'll be quite honest, because if you're that gullible and you get fooled that quickly and you work for the Boston Globe and now you're also pissing off the Patriots, it's not a good look.
Well, let me ask you something. Could this be Ben? Again, I haven't been there, so I'm speaking totally out of ignorance here. Could he be backtracking on this, just saying that it was a DM source that he got wrong, just trying to get back in the Patriots' good graces for something they didn't want out? It's easier for me to walk back and say, no, I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
No, because this is a huge embarrassment for him to take a bullet for the team. No, dude.
But if they said you got no more access to the team?
They could do things like that to you. Yes.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. And now if he's got no access to the Patriots and he's a Patriots beat writer with no access, he basically has no job.
Right.
So he walks it back.
I don't think they'll
saying,
do that. I don't think they'll do that to him, but I think they'll give him a strong reprimand. Like, this shit better never happen again, because if it does, we will not allow you in the building. We will not allow you to have any access. I can guarantee you right now with that story, he lost access. He lost access. I bet you Mac Jones says, that mother effer ain't ever interviewing me. Okay? And then it gets around, and then there are other guys. Oh, no, dude. And if some of those guys are tight with Mac, then they're going to be pissed at him for that. So when he walks in the locker room, they're going to go, yeah, that's that D-bag that reported that about Mac Jones. And it's like, then he'll walk up to somebody, yeah, dude, I don't want to talk to you. So he might get some of that. Yeah, you got to be careful what you report, man. You got to be careful, and you're going to report that somebody has an attitude problem and it's not accurate. You're going to piss off the team. You're going to piss off the coach. You're going to piss off the player. You're going to piss off your editor. Yeah, that's a major screw up on his part if he did that. Major screw up. Bad look on his part. Let's see. Breaking news. Ben Volan will not be with the Globe much longer. Well, I hope he doesn't lose his job, but they may have to move him to another beat.
Jets 2021 second-round pick Elijah Moore has requested a trade.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, yeah, he's lost some playing time, yes.
He had 0 targets last week.
Yeah. He's lost playing time. I get it. The Reese kid is for real, bro. Is for real. I get it. We're in South Florida. I'm a hardcore Dolphins fan. A lot of you out there talking good about the Jets is not something we're supposed to do, but the Breece Hall kid, I got to give him credit. It's a hell of a find by the Jets. That's a nice player, man. That kid's a baller. Definitely. The Jets still suck, but he's a baller. Got to give him credit. I've saved my Lowry comment after the month of basketball, though if we see more of last night, that will not cut it. Heck, we could lose it early in playoffs. Yeah. I'm with you. Who gives a damn about Ben? That's still a funny story. You got suckered by somebody else for a bogus story. That's awesome. Ben Volan, come to the Suns Sunshine Sentinel, come on to the Big O show. Not. Nice guy. We're good. We're good. We've got plenty of folks that can provide the proper insight that we like on the show. Okay. By the way, when sports and business collide, we like to do something called the KSDT CPA Sports Business Report. Ah, yes. Dak Prescott, the man that has been out with an injury, or normally out with many injuries on a consistent basis. You know, one of the things that I commend Dak, he held out for a big-ass contract, and he got that big-ass contract. But what I like also about Dak, he has wasted no time when it comes to advertisers. He is everywhere. Okay, he is making a boatload of money off the field, and God bless him. Dude, you're the Cowboys quarterback. That's automatic. It's not just a star in your helmet. You are a star, usually, if you're a Cowboys quarterback, right? Because, obviously, such a national brand. Well, Kylie Jenner has now signed up Dak Prescott. No, not to bang him, but to represent her product. That's right. Kylie Jenner and Dak Prescott are together. Being the QB of the Dallas Cowboys means Dak Prescott is one of the most recognizable faces in the entire NFL. His production on the field will be scrutinized more than anybody else just because he plays for America's team, which I disagree that the Cowboys are America's team. I think that's a bogus-ass title. Because of the eyes on him, the Cowboys quarterback is reportedly teaming up with Kylie Jenner in the sparkling water market. According to TMZ, Prescott and Jenner are now stakeholders in a new drink venture called Glow Beverages. The two will also be brand ambassadors. It's the glow for me. I'm excited to join the Drink Glow team, said Jenner on Instagram. I've always been interested in the water and functional beverage category. My ambassadorship with Glow is exciting, and it allows me to support a product that is revolutionizing the industry. In the past, sparkling waters have lacked enhancements, and functional waters have lacked carbonation. Glow is an incredible functional drink that tastes amazing, Prescott said in a separate Instagram post. I'm proud to be an ambassador of the brand and an equity stakeholder as well. Let's glow. Are you buying a little Glow? So you're not going to get in the flow of buying a little Glow. How about you, Alarmo? Alarmo says no.
No mo. Faux show.
Okay. No flow and no glow for Sean. All right. Frankie Fresco says, and thank you for the love on the super chat, Frankie. Very nice of you. Sean, although you say AEW is all over the place, you have to admit they handled the Hangman concussion not that bad.
There's only one way to handle a man knocked out unconscious in the middle of the ring.
Just drag him out of the ring.
No, they handled it right. They went home. They stopped the match. They did what they had to do, and they got him.
Don't you just roll him out off the ring, and he just falls off the end? And
in the older days, yeah. In the older days, yes. That's what would happen.
Okay. All right.
But no, one thing that AEW does right is they actually have a concussion protocol in their wrestling thing. That's why Adam Cole has not been back on TV.
Wow.
So they have a quote-unquote concussion protocol set up for head injuries and different things. So
did they do that just so they don't get sued? Is that the idea? Protect themselves?
They're trying to be more, again, AEW was made to be more for the wrestlers, the performers.
Right.
Whereas Vince just kind of used to just chew you up and spit you out. You make his money, great, all right. You get paid good while you're there, but as soon as he doesn't need you anymore, you go away with whatever injuries you got and have fun. But they've done good. So I mean, I can't fault them for anything they do as far as, for the performers and things like that. They did an excellent job. it kind of threw the program off whack a little bit because nobody really understood what was going on at it for a moment until everybody understood the severity of what had happened. So,
all right, let me wrap it up. That is your KSDT CPA Sports Business Report.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
Man of 1,005 holds is asking random question, Big O. Does Red Recover have gloves and socks? No, I don't think so, but I'm sure. No, it's not a glove. They have a wrap for the the wrist and the elbow area, but it's not a glove. They do? They do have a mitt? Oh, then I mean, you know what? I'm speaking out of place here. Let me. I got to talk to Ed on that. I got to talk to Ed. I mean, he's usually well, sometimes he like most people. He doesn't watch it all live. He watches it after, like most people watch or download, after the show, and it's on demand. But I don't know if they have that, my friend. I'm gonna have to. I know they don't have socks, and I don't think they have a glove or a mitt or anything like that. But what issues do you have? Because they do have a foot wrap now. They do have the foot wrap now. Oh, they do have a hand and wrist mitt. Nice job by you. I did not see that. They have a hand and wrist mitt. They have one. Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, for arthritic conditions and things like that, it makes a lot of sense, dude. Yes, so they do have a hand and they have a mitt for the hand and the wrist. So check it out. Go to redrecover.com. Use our code Big O. The wraps are cheap anyways, man. They're really inexpensive, but you also get 10% off by using our code Big O. So check it out. Another wrestling question, Tony Segalis. Question for Sean. MJF says he doesn't want to be a heel, but he's getting massive props. Babyface MJ. Is that out of the question?
no, but I think where the money is the gray area. Is he a face? Is he a heel? Again, that's what made Stone Cold so good. Is he was on both sides. He was a face and he was a heel. You could like him, you could love him, but everybody was, making noise for him. So I wouldn't say a face MJF is out of the question, but I think you're going to see more of a gray. It's not going to be black and white as far as what his character is. I think you're going to see more of a growth pattern for MJF, being more of just a tweener, I guess, to be, he's going to get the pops because of who he is and his attitude. And I think ultimately you'll see it's kind of going to be like the Stone Cold character.
Isais Bofil, by the way, thank you for the love on the Cash App. And remember, you can always make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show is the address, Cash Big O Show. He says for love the show, Big O. Thank you. Very nice. And you can also send us a little Bitcoin through Cash App. I think maybe Venmo. I don't know. I have never gotten any Bitcoin through Venmo, but definitely Cash App. You can send Bitcoin or Ethereum there. And we always love Bitcoin donations, but obviously we love it on Cash App or Venmo because we get the entire donation. Here on YouTube, they take 30% of it. There you go. Big O, did you hear about Xavi said that he does not win a single championship with Barcelona this year? He should get fired. Okay. If he wants to pull a Warren Moon, go for it. For those of you that are not old enough, Warren Moon was in a contract negotiation. He wasn't happy that they weren't offering him top 5 money. So he cut a deal that it said that if he was top 5 or top 3 in stats or whatever, that you would have to pay him accordingly. And sure enough, he was one of the best quarterbacks, and he was in the top 5 or top 3, and they had to pay him accordingly for it. So, yeah. MJF still a baby. Long way for us to even bring his name up with those guys. There you go. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. No idea. Zero clue about those. I'm not a wrestling guy. I have the expert here. I don't have to be an expert in wrestling. I have the historian right here. Did you see Deshaun Watson? Got busted for speeding. That guy, you would listen. Speeding is something that a lot of people do, or what? Not necessarily 100 miles an hour, because that's what he was busted for. He was busted for speeding at 100 miles an hour. But if you're Deshaun Watson, after everything that you've been through, don't you think you might want to follow the letter of the law for a while? Don't you think you may want to stay away from trouble if you're Deshaun Watson? So he had another off-the-field issue. He was issued a citation for speeding while driving on the freeway in Sandusky, Ohio on June 11th. Body camera footage from the Ohio State Highway Patrol, which, by the way, June 11th is now when we're getting it, obtained by TMZ, shows Watson pulled over in his Mercedes G-Wagon. He was honest when the officer asked how fast he was going. He said, like 97. Officer responded that the Watson was driving 97 and issued him a citation. Watson paid a $185 fine, and the case was closed on July 6th. So you're already a sex offender, practically. You're already considered a rapist, whether you did it or not. People are looking at you that you're a weirdo. Cleveland did all of this to sign you, which of course, they're morons. And I would have said the same thing about the Dolphins, by the way. Please don't even bother chiming in, because if you're not following the show for a long time, if you did, you would know I never wanted that guy at all, ever. I was steadfast on staying with Tua. Always. Didn't want anybody. I didn't want the stupidity of trading for Garoppolo. I didn't want Deshaun Watson, Brady, nobody. Tua. Okay, so just in case you're new to the show, you only tuned in the first week or last month or two and you didn't know. But this moron, you would figure after all the trouble I've been in, I may want to actually, follow the letter of the law. But no, I'm going to go do 100 miles an hour and put other people at risk. Amazing. Deshaun Watson, amazing. Did you see Kyrie Irving? This is funny. Okay? This is hilarious. So the other night, the Nets lost, and your boy Ben Simmons, in 23 minutes, Sean, had 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 fouls. Yeah, your boy Ben Simmons. So they asked Kyrie about Ben Simmons' night, and he says, as we told him in the locker room, he's a valuable piece for us, and we need him out there. And fouling out is not an option. Playing aggressive is something that we want him to do, but we also want him to play smart. And what I love is that it's a head case talking about another head case. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the scene of Vontae Davis having his alcohol issues, and he gets to practice late, smelling like alcohol because he was partying the night before, and Brandon Marshall is hitting him over the head with a football and telling him to, straighten himself out. That's like Casey Anthony giving you tips on how to take care of kids. That's like Deshaun Watson telling you how to find a massage therapist. Seriously. Like Kyrie Irving's going to talk about a head case when that guy thinks the world is flat. No, and here's the best part. You've got writers asking the head case about a head case, and then they're quoting the head case because they think the head case makes sense about the other head case. I just love this vicious cycle. This is awesome. It's fantastic. Next thing you know, we'll get driving lessons from Henry Ruggs. The Henry Ruggs School of Driving. It's fire. Wow. It's amazing. The crap that goes on. Let me go talk to Kyrie about Ben Simmons. Like, what reporter says that makes sense? A comedian, maybe. Hey, I need material for my stand-up tonight. Let me go talk to Kyrie about Ben Simmons. That's material right there. Now I get that. You know? Sebastian, what is it? Managasco or whatever. That guy's funny as hell. Yeah, let me go get some material from Kyrie and Ben Simmons. I can get that. Chappelle, yeah, let me get some material of these crazy bastards. My God. Anyways. All right, we're out of here. We thank Marcel Louis-Jacques for joining us. We thank Alan Poupart for joining us. Larry Little also. Steve Calabro, general manager of Hialeah Park. And we thank, of course, the Brunetti family and Frank Fiore and all the great people making it happen for us here every single Thursday. We thank all of you for tuning in, downloading the show, watching it on YouTube, catching up later on. Please smash the like button, share it out there. As always, we thank Sean Stanley, the man that masters the entire platform. We'll see you tomorrow live from Homestead Motor Speedway. Yeah, baby. We're going to be out there on Friday having some fun. The races are this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. No more races on Friday. But we'll be out there maybe talking to some drivers, and we'll be doing our show, talking some Dolphins, getting you ready for the Canes and Duke, getting you ready for Dolphins and the Steelers and everything going on with the Heat and the Panthers. We'll see you all tomorrow, same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a good one.